Hold on a minute, guys. Just double checking that everything is working here. Just give me 1 minute, everyone. So let me see if I'm live. Let's just see here. And yes, it does look like it. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our third live play-by-play stream of the Stanley Cup playoffs. So we're back here with another Stanley Cup live stream. If you guys tune in, I really do appreciate that. Today we have Game 3 between the Colorado Avalanche and the Los Angeles Kings. We're probably about 10 minutes away from the official puck drop for Colorado Los Angeles, so we still got a little bit of time to kill, but we are here, we are live, and I hope today's stream goes well. Once again, I do apologize if there's any buffering or things like that. I also do apologize for any background noise, but we should be good to go now, and we'll be with you for the next couple of hours as we call how Colorado Los Angeles Game 3 goes. So this is going to be a very interesting one. The Colorado Avalanche are trying to make this a 3-0 series after taking both games in Colorado, so they're looking pretty good right now, even though they've been playing more of a Los Angeles style of game. And the Kings are trying to make it interesting. Win their first game of the series, make it a 2-1 series, make it somewhat interesting. So definitely some very interesting things going on here. So I know that there's a lot of people watching the NFL draft right now, so I'm not sure how many people we will get in here, but we will be here with you guys for the next couple of hours to live stream the Colorado Los Angeles and do a little bit of play-by-play. So just let me get a couple of things set up here, guys. I do apologize for the wait. Just give me a minute here, guys. Just got a couple of things to check out here, and then we will be going to I'm going to be just really quickly while we wait for Colorado Los Angeles to start. I am going to be doing a little bit of just looking at how Carolina Ottawa's going, as that's the only other game that is currently on right now. We saw 2 games earlier today, and I'll get to both of them in a minute. Just let me finish these few things up here, guys. But yeah, that is the only current game on right now, Carolina Ottawa. So unlike the last few videos where we've been able to sort of in between intermissions see how the other side's been going, not today. Today we are just going to be doing Colorado Los Angeles because there is no extra late game. Tomorrow there will be an extra late game because we are streaming Anaheim Edmonton tomorrow at 8 p.m. Mountain Time, and as that one's going on, Vegas Utah Game 3 is also going to be going on. So we're going to get a little bit of mix up there. Once again, just let me finish this here. Let me just double check I got everything going, and then we are going to be starting the play-by-play. So just hang with me for a couple of minutes here. Let's just see this. Hold on a minute here, guys. Hold on a minute. Just give me a few seconds. And hold on. What was your guys' thoughts on all the games that happened last night? There were 3 very interesting games, I might add, that happened last night between the Oilers and Ducks, which we'll be streaming tomorrow, as well as the Stars and Wild and the Penguins and Flyers, which I'll just touch on in a minute here. Just let me finish all of this stuff up. Hold on, guys. And we are still about 5 to 10 minutes away from the start of puck drop between the Kings and the Avs, so you're not missing anything. We still have not reached the start of puck drop yet, so not missing anything at this current point in time. Hold on a minute here, guys. Let's see. Just give me a sec. And that is good. Okay, so we're just going to be keeping tabs on Carolina Ottawa until that Colorado Los Angeles game gets underway. So we're going to keep tabs on this one right now. It's currently 2-1 Carolina with under 5 minutes left in the third period. Wearing my Sens hat, I'm a Senators fan. They're one of my top 2 favorite teams. So I really do like Ottawa, and I'm hoping they're able to come back and win this one, but it's not looking good, and Carolina's already up 2-0 in the series, as you can see below right here. So that's not overly good. I'll see how Ottawa does. They have just over 4 minutes left to try and get an equalizer and send it to overtime. Earlier today, we did see the Buffalo Sabres break a 1-1 tie in the third period and held on to beat the Boston Bruins 3-1. So after what was a really bad second game a couple nights ago, they were able to bounce back, and they were able to get the go-ahead series lead in the series. So they're going to be playing, I think it's Sunday, so they think they're going to be able to get an extra day off. I might be wrong on that. But Buffalo will be playing at a later date. But that series is now 2-1 Buffalo. So once again, there's 3.5 minutes left. Carolina has the puck in the offensive zone. Once again, you're not missing anything between the Avs and Kings. That game has not started yet. And let's see, Allmark flopping a little bit, but the Canes are still producing pressure. Currently have 30 seconds in the offensive zone, and Ottawa's got to try and get something going here if they want to try and have some sort of comeback and a win here. Once again, if this game goes to overtime, we might be talking about it during the first intermission between Colorado and Los Angeles, depending on how long it goes. But we shall see if Ottawa's going to be able to even force it to overtime. Ottawa does have the puck. They're in the offensive zone. Paulo, hold on a minute here, guys. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Carolina's got the puck back into the offensive zone. Ehlers trying to get around Spence. Can't. Cousins got it. Cousins passes it to Paulo. He takes it to the red line, dumps it down. There's 2 minutes and 50 seconds left in the Sens Canes game. So still very interesting. That's a 1-goal game. So we shall see if Ottawa is able to tie the thing up. Ottawa's got some offensive zone pressure here, and they're able to keep it on the blue line. Stutzel's got it to Batherson. You got to think they're going to be pulling the goaltender here. Let's see. Just give me a second here, guys. Shabbat is going to lose the puck. It goes back into his own zone. Spence has it. And you got to think Allmark's going to be pulled in the very near future. Ottawa does actually lead by a minute in puck possession, so that's very interesting to note there. Cousins has got it. He's going for a skate. Allmark's going to the bench. So the Senators are now going to be going 6-on-5. Cousins is able to retrieve the puck, even if it's just for a second. Cousins is trying to get away from a couple of Carolina Hurricanes players, and the Canes do wind up clearing it out of the zone. 2 minutes left in the third period, and it is 2-1 Carolina. So let's see how this one's going to finish out. The Hurricanes, they are able to get it to the point. It's a 2-on. It might be a break here for Jarvis. He tries to clear it into the empty net. Nice job by Pinto to stop it as Jarvis tried to chip it into the empty net. 1:40 left in the third period. Cousins trying to get set up. He puts it on goal. Anderson makes a stop. Carolina got the puck back. Tries to put it down to the empty net, and they shoot it wide. That's probably going to be an icing. It is. Offensive zone faceoff draw for Ottawa with a minute and a half left. So once again, Avs Kings is going to start in the next couple of seconds here. So once again, as soon as that game starts, we will have the play-by-play for that. But until that starts, we're just going to stay here for a sec with Senators Kings and see if Ottawa is going to be able to tie it. So we'll see if that is able to happen. So just give me a couple minutes here, guys. Once again, we will be with you here for the next couple of hours doing a live stream for Colorado LA. But until that game is getting underway, we do have some late coverage here between Ottawa and the Carolina Hurricanes. So once again, there's a minute 40 left, and the Carolina Hurricanes lead by 1. Ottawa has the net pulled. Carolina just got the puck, and they're able to feed it across. Tries for the empty net, and that's a miss, I think it was. No icing, though. Ottawa was able to keep possession, but just for a second. Nice intercept. Tries for empty net again, and it just goes wide. Carolina has almost put into the empty net about 3 or 4 times, and now they got an empty net again. They once again put it wide. There's a minute left. Ottawa is getting very lucky. They can knock it out of their zone, but Carolina cannot put the puck into the empty net. And Carolina is going to get the puck back, chips it back into the defensive zone. Ottawa's got under a minute left, and they can knock it out of their own zone. Ottawa's trying to get something going here. They dump the puck in. It's a dump and chase. Carolina's going to be able to get there. They try and clear it, and they can't. Ottawa holds the line. Shabbat gets it. Looks like it might have hit the ref. Carolina now has it, and it's dumped back down the ice. And Carolina does leave it for Aho, who is bodied off the puck. And that might be an interference call for Ottawa. Let's see what's happening here. There might be a penalty on the Senators. Let's see. Hold on a minute here, guys. Once again, they're just showing some of the highlights. Once again, you're not missing anything. The Avalanche Kings game has not started yet. They're just showing some of the empty net misses for the Carolina Hurricanes. So very interesting to know there. They're showing the Stutzel hit on Aho. I'm not sure if that was a penalty or if Aho was an offside. There's 34 seconds left. Ottawa's going to have to perform a miracle. I don't think there was a penalty on that play. Ottawa might have just taken their timeout. So very interesting to know there. Ottawa's going to have to hope and pray for a miracle to have them come back in this game. So we shall wait and see. This is looking very, very likely to be the exact same sort of thing that happened in last year's series where they're going to go down 3-0 on home ice, just like they did against Toronto. So that is not good there for Ottawa. I picked Ottawa in 7. So at this point, if they don't win this game, they're going to have to reverse sweep for that to be wind up happening. So that's not looking very good. So once again, as soon as Colorado Los Angeles starts, we will take you there. Once again, let me just check here. Once again, Ottawa's got 34 seconds left to tie it. And Kings Avs have started. Okay, they just started here. Avalanche have it in the defensive zone, and Colorado's trying to do something with it. Manson's got it. Stretch feed, intercepted. Los Angeles has the puck back. We'll get you the Ottawa score later. Los Angeles has it. Intercepted. Colorado. McKinnon trying to go in. Cannot. Mikey Anderson with the stop. McKinnon's got it again. Pass cross shot. And a nice save by Anton Forsberg. Great stop from Forsberg. Trying to get across. McKinnon cannot get the pass. McKinnon's got it now in the offensive zone. Weaving through a couple of Kings defenders. Wrap around. Missed. Could not get it. And I think that's Panarin who's got it. Passes it to another King. And they cleared out the zone. And now Doughty just dumps it in. So a nice shot there from Doughty. And the Kings are still playing against the Avs. Now we got it to Edmondson. Edmondson shot. And now they got it back again. Let's see. Panarin's got it now. Back. He's going to go along the blue line, shoots, and that's going to be wide. I think that's Kopitar's got it. Across to Clark. Clark shoots, and that stopped. Kopitar, Kempe, and Panarin are out here for the LA Kings with Edmondson and Clark. So very interesting note there. Another nice try for the Kings, and that's another stop from Scott Wedgwood. So very interesting note there, but the score is still scoreless with just under 16 minutes left to go in this first period. Just showing some of the highlights. Some pretty good stops early on from Anton Forsberg, so really good stuff there. Let's see. Manson. No, that was Lehkonen with the tip. So very interesting to note there. Once again, you are not missing anything. It's a break right now. We're just about to go to an offensive face-off draw for Los Angeles in a scoreless first period between the Colorado Avalanche and the LA Kings. So very interesting to note there. It's still scoreless. There are 2 shots aside for both sides. So very interesting note there. It's going to be Armia, I think, in the face-off dot and taking the offensive zone face-off, and he does lose it. Colorado's going to be able to get it. I think that was Malinsky who gets the puck out. A couple players trying to reach for it, and LA does get it. Dumoulin tries to stretch feed. He does hit Lawton. Lawton, a stick by the Avalanche player, can't get his shot away. Lawton is able to get it below the goal line, and now the Los Angeles Kings trying to make something happen along the wall. Kuzmenko backhands it below the goal line. He's out there with Lawton and Armia who are fighting for the puck. Now a couple of other players are fighting for the puck. Lawton does get it out, being hounded by one of the Avs players. Gets it to Dumoulin, shot, stop, rebound. Wedgwood is going to be able to cover up with 15-12 left in the first period and a scoreless first period between the Avalanche and the Kings. So once again, you don't expect too much from this game. I do expect this one to be more of a low-event game as the first 2 games have been. Maybe with LA being on the ice, they can get a couple extra goals, but I expect this to be most likely a 2-1 or 3-2 game, potentially going to overtime. So we shall once again wait and see how this one does wind up playing out. I do appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. If you guys can, leave a chat, leave a subscribe, leave a comment. I'd love to hear your guys' opinion on the game that's currently going on right now and the 2 games that happened earlier today. The Avalanche are able to keep it in, and now they get it out of their zone. Colorado just takes it, dumps it down the ice. Forsberg is able to play it behind his net, gets it to one of his defenders. He was taken down, but he does get the puck out. Colorado is going to be able to recover. And now the Kings recover in the neutral zone. Edmondson takes it and dumps it down the ice for the Los Angeles Kings. The puck takes a good bounce for Colorado, and one of their players is driving up the ice. I think that might be Kadri. Kadri looking for some sort of passing lane. Tried to get to one of his defenders, could not, but the Avs do keep it in. I think that was Landeskog trying to get it around, and the Avalanche have it behind the net. Nick Waugh back to the point to Landeskog. Shot, stop, rebound, score! The Avalanche have scored the goal. They open the scoring. For the first time this entire series, we will not have a scoreless first period. A nice tip in front. I'm not sure exactly who that was, but they're going to give the goal to Kadri right now. Very interesting goal from the Avalanche. Let's just see. Hold on a minute here, guys. Once again, the puck was behind the net. Waugh got it. He put it out in front to Kadri. Kadri shot, and it looks like it went off of Forsberg's pad and into the net. Landeskog shot, and it might be Kadri's goal. It might be Forsberg's goal. Just let me see one more look at this. It went off the backboards, and it went off of Forsberg's pad trying to stop that puck from going in, and it just actually pushed the puck in. Colorado's up 1-0. So a bad break there for Anton Forsberg as the LA Kings have now the Colorado Avalanche opened the scoring thanks to Gabriel Landeskog. So a good point shot there from Landeskog to give the Avalanche the early 1-0 lead on the road. So very interesting to note there, and that is done. So good stuff there. You're not missing anything. We are currently 14 minutes left in the first period. Colorado trying to get out of their defensive zone, cannot. Malott shot stopped. Another pass, shots stopped. I think that was on Hellenius. Nice stops from Wedgwood. Puck below the goal line. LA keeps it there. Hellenius gets it back to, I think that's Ward. Malott trying to fight for it in the corner. Ward tries to get to Hellenius, jamming away at the loose puck. Wedgwood makes a nice stop, and the Avalanche clear puck. This might be a break here. Logan O'Connor, he's going to be pushed to the boards by Dumoulin, trying to find that loose puck. McKinnon's there. There's a couple other LA Kings players there, and Los Angeles is able to get it. They loop it back around their own nets. They're just playing past, trying to keep away from Colorado players, and they do. Cody Ceci, I think that is, takes it to the red line, dumps it in, and LA is trying to chase it, but it goes right to Wedgwood, who covers up with 13:26 left in the first period, and a 1-0 Colorado Avalanche lead. So very interesting to note there. Once again, the final has happened. Carolina did beat Ottawa. So the Carolina Hurricanes beat Ottawa 2-1 in Game 3 and now have a 3-0 series lead over the Ottawa Senators. So not great news there. If you look at the earlier scores today, Carolina beats Ottawa 2-1, and the Carolina Hurricanes are now a win away from sweeping the Ottawa Senators. Well, the Buffalo Sabres win 3-1 over the Boston Bruins and now have a 2-1 series lead heading into Game 4. So that was a big bounce back game from Buffalo, and on home ice, Ottawa could not get it done, and now they're on the brink of elimination. You're not missing anything. We are on commercial break. So let me just change that to final. Just give me a second here, guys. Let's see. Let's see here. It's this one right here, and this game is now finished. So those were the two games that happened earlier today, as the Carolina Hurricanes wound up taking out the Ottawa Senators, and the Buffalo Sabres took out the Boston Bruins, both on the road. So the Carolina Hurricanes now lead their series 3-0, and the Buffalo Sabres lead their series 2-1. So the current landscape of the playoff picture is this. So the Hurricanes lead their series 3-0 over Ottawa, and the Flyers lead their series 3-0 over Pittsburgh. Those two series could potentially be ended, I think, as early as Saturday. So very interesting to note there. The Avalanche are currently in a tie with the Kings, and the Dallas Stars currently lead their series 2-1 over Minnesota after last night's game in double overtime. So those two are pretty close series. Or actually, the Avalanche lead 2-0. So the Avalanche lead 2-0, and the Stars lead 2-1. So very interesting to note there. We shall see how Game 3 goes later tonight. Once again, the Avs are currently leading 1-0. The Oilers and the Ducks are at a 1-1 series. The Knights and the Mammoth are at a 1-1 series. So those two are both level at this point, both having not played Game 3 yet. And then the Bolts and the Habs series is 1-1, and the Sabres lead their series 2-1. So very good stuff there so far. Once again, most of these games are going quite like I expected. If my predictions would have to be right, Ottawa would have to reverse sweep the Carolina Hurricanes. The Flyers, well, I guess I picked Pittsburgh in 5, so that Philadelphia Flyers Pittsburgh Penguins series can no longer be right. We'll get to the other ones later. LA wins the draw, tries to get it in front, and they cannot. Colorado clears it back down the ice. This might be icing, and it is. So another offensive zone faceoff draw for the Los Angeles Kings. Keeping with that, I said Bolts in 7, so the Bolts will have to win 3 of the next 5 games for my prediction to be right there. I said Sabres in 6, so Sabres will have to win 2 of the next 3 games for me to be right there. I said the Wild in 6, so the Wild would have to win the next 3 games. I said Avalanche in 6, so that means they would have to split the next 2. Face-off, tie-up, and the Kings do wind up winning it. Edmondson point shot, stopped by Wedgwood. Kopitar is able to get it and gets it to Kempe, who loops it around the boards, gets it back to the point, passes it back to, I think that's Panarin. Panarin looping back, trying to make some things miss, but Colorado is able to punch it out of the zone. LA regroups. Brent Clark in his own zone tries a stretch feed. He does get it to Kempe. Panarin now got it. Back to Kempe. Kempe looking in, shoots, and I think that one went over the net. And over the netting, over the glass. 1-0 still Colorado. Was 12:44 left in the first period, so very interesting to note there. good stuff so far in this game. Once again, we shall see how this one goes. Once again, so if my predictions were to be right, Los Angeles, Colorado will have to split the next 2 games for Colorado to win in 6. The Mammoths will have to win 3 of the next 4 games for the Mammoths to win in 6. And the Oilers will have to win 3 of the next 5 games for the Oilers to win in 7. So most of my predictions are still up in the air, except for the 2 in the Metro. So very interesting to note there. Let's see how this face-off goes. Face-off to the left of Scott Wedgwood. I think that's between LaFerriere and McKinnon. Shots are 6-2 Los Angeles. Goals are 1-0 Colorado. So definitely some shot disparity there. LA does win it. Anderson shot, and it just trickles wide. Nice try from Mikey Anderson. LA's going to keep it in, get back to below the goal line, and trying to make something happen. Nice moves there from, I think that's Trevor Moore. Moore is going to be bite off the puck. Colorado does get it. Might be a little bit of a break here. LA does get some reinforcements defensively. Malinsky trying to put it up front. Cannot. Natchez now has it. And he's going to feed it back into his own zone. So good stuff there for Colorado. McKinnon, he's going in. Trying to make some sort of pass. And he cannot. Once again, McKinnon Byfield on the corner. Tied up. LA trying to make a stretch free, and they do. Moore's got it, but it's 1-on-2 against 2 other Avalanche players. He just loops it back into the offensive zone, and Colorado's going to regain possession. Colorado behind their own net, gets it to the blue line. Nice play here from one of the Avs forwards. I think that was Kadri. Dumoulin gets it around the boards as the Kings recover, but only for a second. Landeskog keeps the zone, or Manson keeps the zone, and the Kings are able to get out of their own zone. So good stuff there. Law, nice hit. Amir trying to get the puck, but he cannot, and LA has to go back in their own zone to recover. Once again, their last playoff series win for Los Angeles was 2014. So very interesting to note there. Makar in the corner loses the puck, but Landeskog gets it across to Manson. Manson gets it to the red line and dumps it in as the Avs go dump and chase. I think that's Landeskog who's got it. Landeskog is going to get it in. Once again, board battle along the corner. They get back to the point. Makar's got it. Shot. And Kale Makar is going to be stopped by Anton Forsberg. So very interesting note there. And a nice stop from Forsberg with 11:03 left in the first period. And a 1-0 Colorado Avalanche lead. So very interesting note there. Once again, the 2 games from earlier today, the Buffalo Sabres beat the Boston Bruins 3-1. So it was a really good win there from Buffalo. And the Carolina Hurricanes beat the Ottawa Senators 2-1. So a really good win there from Carolina. Kings have put the Senators on the brink of elimination, and Buffalo is going to be looking for the 3-1 lead in Game 4. So very interesting note there. Currently, in this game, we have a 1-0 Avalanche lead over the Los Angeles Kings. So that is very interesting. And once again, they're just showing some of the players on the bench. So that will be very interesting. Once again, LA is basically must-win mode like Pittsburgh was last night, like Ottawa was earlier today. If they go down 3-0, I don't think there's a chance that the LA Kings can reverse sweep the President's Trophy champs. So we'll have to wait and see. McKinnon's out there against Byfield. Offensive zone face-off draw for the Avalanche, and Byfield does win it back to his defenseman. They loop it around the boards, but Colorado doesn't intercept it. Colorado trying to get some sort of thing going. Shot by Natchez, and it looks like it goes over the net. LA is able to get it back. Passes it to one of his defenders. Colorado still trying to get that puck, but LA does get it out of the zone. This might be an icing call, and it is. Icing with 10:46 left for the Colorado Avalanche. So very interesting to note there. Once again, very interesting games happened earlier today. So Buffalo-Boston was really interesting. Alex Lyon started for the Buffalo Sabres, and he was able to stop all but one shot. So that was really good. I can't remember who scored that first one. I think it was Jeannot for the Boston Bruins. And then Buffalo scored 3 consecutive goals. Once again, pause for a minute here. Byfield, Landeskog was a draw back to the point shot, and it stopped. LA does recover possession, tries to get a cross-ice feed. They cannot. Los Angeles does get it, and now LA gets it in. Makar's got it behind his own net, and Makar's going to try and set some things up from behind his own net. Gets it to McKinnon, who's got some speed, trying to get through the neutral zone. He drops off for Makar. Makar gets it to red line, dumps it in. Another dump and chase for the Avs. Kings get possession behind their own net. Doughty trying to skate somewhere, and he's going to shake off one of the Avalanche players and reset for the LA Kings. He gets it across to Artemi Panarin. Panarin walking in. He's got some space. He's got some time on the wing. Shot, tries a deflection front, and it just goes wide. Nice block from one of the Avalanche players. Now, here comes Logan O'Connor with speed. Shot, it goes wide. One of the Avalanche players took a spill, but Colorado does keep in the zone. O'Connor behind the net. because to the point. Shots and it's stopped. Rebound and the puck is blocked. It goes wide, but Colorado does keep possession. Malinsky tries something and it's hit, and this might be a stretch feed, and it looks like it's going to be just a little bit too far. Icing the call for Los Angeles with 9:37 left in the first period. So very interesting to note there. Once again, if you guys can, leave a comment, leave a chat, leave a like. Tell all your friends the best hockey content on YouTube is right here at the End to End Hockey channel. So I'd love to hear your guys' opinion on all of this stuff. Once again, we do have a couple of very interesting things that happened earlier today. So once again, the Carolina Hurricanes were able to beat the Ottawa Senators to take a 3-0 series lead, and Buffalo was able to beat the Boston Bruins to wind up taking the series lead in that one. So Carolina's probably on the brink. Buffalo beat Boston. Once again, a face-off to the right of Forsberg, and LA does win it, trying to set something up, and they do. Panarin is able to get it into the offensive zone, and Colorado does round up regaining possession. Colorado's going to dump this puck down. Dumoulin is able to get it. Dumoulin across to Doughty. Doughty gets it down the ice. I don't think this is icing, and Colorado does touch it up. Armia trying to fight for it. Colorado does keep it at possession, and the puck is able to get it. Nelson gets into the offensive zone, but LA is able to recover. Colorado now has it in the defensive zone. Tries a stretch feed, and they're just going to dump it down the ice. LA regains possession in their own defensive zone. So very interesting to note there. Los Angeles has it. Dumoulin, nice play, gets it deep. Wedgwood out to play the puck, and he's able to loop it around the boards. Once again, a board battle over there. Malott gets it to the point. Shot tipped in front, and it just trickles wide for Los Angeles. Another battle in the corner, and it goes back to behind the Avalanche net. Wedgwood's net. Malott's trying to fight off a player, and he can, but now Colorado does get the puck back. That is Nick Waugh, who's trying to fight his way into the offensive zone, chips it in. LA is able to get it from behind the nets. Clark tried to feed it, and LA does get possession now. LA trying to start something up, and they cannot. So once again, Colorado's got possession. 8:13 left in this first period, and what is a 1-0 Colorado Avalanche lead. Colorado's trying to get back up. They can't. Byfield's got it. And he's got a little bit of space. Byfield shot stopped by Scott Wedgwood. Another nice stop from Wedgwood early on in this game, as the LA Kings are trailing 1-0. So very interesting to note there. Once again, I think they're just going to commercial break. I think that's what they're doing here. And let's just see here for a second. And yes, they are going to commercial break. So when it comes to future live streams, I am definitely going to be streaming tomorrow at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. So same time as we did today, but I think it's going to be a little more of an entertaining, interesting game. We've got Anaheim-Edmonton, first playoff game in Anaheim since 2017. So that's going to be a very interesting one. I definitely hope you guys all tune in for that one. I think a lot of you guys will I think that game will be very, very entertaining. As both games so far have been highly entertaining, with the Oilers winning 4-3 in Game 1 and the Ducks winning 6-4 in Game 2. So I definitely do think that one's going to be a lot more interesting than this one is. And then on top of that, we're not going to have any streams on the weekend, as I'm not going to be doing anything over there. Next week, we should have some more streams. I do have to figure out how the games go on the weekend and things like that. It's looking more and more likely like I'll do streams Tuesday, Thursday, Friday next week. Once again, that's not in concrete or anything. I have to find the games to do too, but it looks like we'll probably not do any streams Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We'll probably do one of them Tuesday. We'll probably not do anything Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday we'll definitely do some, and then we'll try and get as many Game 7 streams as we can on the weekend, Saturday, Sunday next week. So once again, I still have some things to iron out. I still have to figure out how the games go over the weekend before anything's set in stone, but that's sort of my idea so far. So expect probably having live streams Tuesday, Thursday, Friday next week. We're trying to get as many Game 7s in as we can. So we'll see about that. But I'm definitely having a live stream tomorrow between the Ducks and the Oilers. I think that's going to be a very interesting game, high event game. I think there's going to be a lot of goals in that game. So I definitely do think that's going to be an interesting one. And once again, tomorrow's game, we'll have a comparison night game with Utah and Vegas also going in the evening, whereas today we don't have a comparison evening game. We had two early afternoon games, or two early evening games. So once again, we should have a little bit of a better live stream tomorrow because once again, I think Colorado LA is a little more low event than Anaheim Edmonton, and LA Anaheim Edmonton will probably have more goals. So once again, we'll see how everything's going. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be streaming tomorrow at 8 p.m. Mountain Time, and we're probably going to have a couple more live streams later next week. So definitely over to check that out. Once again, we do have an offensive zone faceoff draw to the right of Scott Wedgwood here between Byfield and McKinnon, and Byfield wins the draw, but it does go to Colorado. Tays has it, loops it around the boards, gets to one of his players. Nate just now has it, trying to get around one of the LA players, and he blocks a pass. Nice play, and now Anderson's got it. Nice feed in front, trying to get something going here. Moore stays on side, shots, and it's stopped by Scott Wedgwood. Nice stop. Byfield gets it back down in front, and 7:40 left in the first. LA still keeps possession. Anderson shot, stop, rebound, and it looks like it went up and out of play. So that's going to be, I think, an offensive zone faceoff draw for Los Angeles. Very interesting to note there. So very interesting stuff here. Hold on a minute here, guys. Let's just see. Once again, yeah, they're just showing the replay of Mikey Anderson's shot here. It looked like it was tipped on the way and maybe blocked by one of the Colorado Avalanche players. I think that was Makar with the block, and then LaFerriere tried to do it, but it went off Makar again. So very interesting to note there. Once again, 7.5 left in the first period. Shots are 7-4 Los Angeles, and the Avalanche are up 1-0. LA wins the puck, keeps it in the zone, gets it back to below the goal line. Let's see, Los Angeles trying to get something going here. Point shot Edmondson, and that's stopped. And now LA is going to try and hold the line. They do, but just for a second. One of the LA Kings broke a stick, tries to keep it in by hand passing it, but I think they're going to call it a hand pass. I think that's going to be puck out of the face-off outside the zone. Clark is, I think, the one who hand passed it. So very interesting to note there. Once again, if you just tuning in, Avalanche scored an early goal from Gabriel Landeskog and a goal that Forsberg put in his own net, trying to slide back to make a save. So that is why the Colorado Avalanche currently lead 1-0 over the Los Angeles Kings. Avalanche won the neutral zone faceoff draw, and they keep possession. Roy's got it in the neutral zone, tries to feed it across, and he does. Gets it back, and that's a pass a little bit too hard, and it goes out of the zone. Malinsky's got it in his own zone, passes it to Landeskog. Landeskog tries to get deep. Elliott intercepts it, and Elliott's going to try and set up from their own zone. Edmondson has it right now to the right of Anton Forsberg. Dumps it down. Colorado gets it in the neutral zone. Malinsky gets it, dumps it back down for Los Angeles to get. And Dumoulin's got it. He dumps it out of the LA zone. And once again, a couple of Los Angeles players may have it here. Pass, try to get across the Panera, a nice stick from one of the Colorado defenders. LA's able to get it, but they can't. 2-on-1, pass, Kadri, shot, stopped, and the net's off the more, and the net's off the pegs. So a nice try from Kadri, I think was driving the net, and then the net got pushed out over. So very interesting to note there. Looks like Colorado tried to make it 2-0 here. Let's see. Yeah, Kadri had 2-on-1. He passed it across. Landeskog had 2-on-1. Passed across to Kadri had a 2-on-1, passed it across to Kelly, and Kelly knocked off the net, trying to jam it in past Anton Forsberg. So once again, nice stop from Forsberg, and Dumoulin shoved Kelly into the net, and the net came off its moorings. So very interesting to note there. As this is going to be a stoppage, I do wonder if this is going to come out of the zone or not. Another nice stop here. Once again, just a really good look at the stop from Forsberg on the Kelly attempt. So very interesting to note there. 6.5 left in the first. Shots are 7-5 Los Angeles. Score is 1-0 Colorado. So very interesting to note there. Once again, I do appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. Let's see how this goes. Colorado's got the points, trying to get it below the goal line. Makar's got it. Nice try. He gets it, trying to feed in front, and I think that was right on Forsberg. He's going to cover up with 6:17 left in the first period, and a 1-0 Colorado lead. So very interesting to note there. Let's see how the rest of this first period plays out. Currently, it is 1-0 Colorado, and we shall see how this goes. Forsberg, once again, they're just showing some of the highlights of Forsberg. Once again, an offensive zone face-off draw here for Colorado. I think they have one of their top units out there right now. They're just showing some of the guys who are on the ice. I think that's McKinnon out there against Byfield, and Byfield wins it. Doughty's got the puck now, and Doughty is going to feed it back to Byfield, who gets it to Moore. Moore trying to feed into the offensive zone, cannot. LA is forced to go back in their own zone. Los Angeles tips it in, and they are able to get back. And let's see how this one goes. The Colorado Avalanche regain possession. They have it in their own zone. That's Makar. I think that was across to Manson. Dumps it down. Colorado is able to retain possession in the LA zone. Los Angeles, Byfield's able to get it. Byfield looking for some sort of passing lane, and he's going to have to loop back. Byfield gets to the cross. Nice play. And Byfield gets it back. Byfield streaking down the middle, trying to get through a couple of Avalanche players. Shot it wide. Moore does keep possession in the offensive zone. Trevor Moore gets it across, and a couple of players fighting for it in the corner. LA does get it deep. Hellenius is out there to try and win the puck, and he sort of does. Keeps it alive for a minute, but Colorado does get possession, and Colorado is, it looks like there's a penalty upcoming, I think, maybe. Let's just see what's being called here. I think they're calling Colorado on a penalty here. Yeah, it says Avalanche late penalty. Manson is going to the box, looks like, for cross-checking. So the Avalanche are going to the box, and LA is going to get the first power play of this game when we get back from commercial break. So good stuff there for Los Angeles, and we'll see if their power play is going to be able to capitalize on this opportunity here. So once again, the power play has been decent. They scored an empty net goal in game 1, and they scored, I'm pretty sure, a power play goal in game 2. Those are the only 2 goals they've had. So they've been pretty good with the man advantage, and we shall see if they are able to get another one. Once again, you're not missing anything. We're currently on commercial break. I really do appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. Once again, we shall see how this one goes. I do plan on streaming Oilers and Ducks tomorrow. I think that was going to be a little more high event than today's game is. So I think that's going to be a really interesting game. Once again, if you are just tuning in and you haven't heard yet, the Carolina Hurricanes beat the Ottawa Senators earlier today 2-1 in regulation, and the Buffalo Sabres beat the Boston Bruins 3-1 in regulation as the Buffalo Sabres and the Buffalo Sabres take the 2-1 series lead away from the Boston Bruins, and the Carolina Hurricanes have now put the Ottawa Senators on the brink of elimination. So really good stuff there from Carolina and Buffalo to get wins on the road in the first game in Boston and Ottawa. So we shall see how those series go. Carolina, I'm pretty sure on Saturday, can end that series, which is something I was not expecting. I said Ottawa in 7, and if the Senators lose, they're going to wind up getting swept. The only way they win the series at this point is if they reverse sweep, which will be very, very unlikely with how good Carolina has wound up being playing. Once again, they've been close games as the Canes won 2-0. The Canes won 3-2 in extra time. The Canes won 2-1. So once again, I really do hope Ottawa is able to wind up waking up and playing really good on Saturday, but it's not looking very good for them to advance to round 2 like I was expecting them to. So very interesting to note there. Once again, you're not missing anything. We are currently in commercial break. So very interesting note there. The Manson is currently in the box for, I think it's cross-checking. They're just showing a replay here. And, oh, yeah, he laid Hellenius into the boards. That was a bad one. I didn't see that in the initial play. So LA is going to go on the power play here. Once again, the power play can be lethal. So we shall see if they are able to level the score. Once again, I think that's Kopitar on the faceoff dot, and he does win it. Gets it back to Kuzmenko, or Clark. Back across shot, stopped, and the Avalanche are able to get it and clear the zone. So a good start there to the penalty kill for the Colorado Avalanche. Brant Clark's got it. Clark looping back around, passes it back, gets it to Kopitar. Kopitar passes it back to Kempe. Kempe across. Kempe gets it back, gets it around the boards. LA is going to keep the zone, but just for a second, Colorado gets it, and they are just able to clear it out. Good play there from the Colorado Avalanche defense. LA back in the neutral zone, trying to regroup. On the power play, when the Avalanche lost their stick, allows Kempe to enter the zone. Drop feed for no one. Colorado's going to be able to get there, maybe trying to do something here. It might be a 3-on-3, and LA is able to intercept. Colorado does keep the zone and dump it down with 1 minute and 10 seconds left in the power play and 4:22 left in the first period. Clark's going to get it, backtracks it to LaFerriere. LaFerriere dumps it down. LaFerriere is going to try and chase for it. Moore is going to get on the wing, gets it back to the point, across to Panarin. Panarin back across to Doughty. Doughty across the Byfield shot. Trying to trickle in front. Cannot. Doughty can't keep the line. Puck goes back out. 44 seconds left on the Los Angeles power play. Currently out there is Byfield, Moore, LaFerriere, Panarin, and Doughty. Once again, Moore is trying to race into the offensive zone. He does. Passes it across the Byfield. Byfield sends it deep. And LA is able to keep the zone for a time being. Colorado gets it. banks off the boards, and clears it out. 24 seconds left in the LA power play. LA is going to be able to not hold the line this time. Byfield's got it, loops around his own net. Byfield, nice play. He's got a whole bunch of head of steam. Byfield gets it, stops up along the walls, tries to get back to the point, does. Brian Dumoulin back to Doughty. Doughty loops it back. Byfield more out there trying to fight for it. Moore does get to the middle, but there's no one there. Colorado's able to send it down full strength, and Manson is out of the box. 3:11 left in the first period. LA is able to get it. Dumoulin's got it. Dumoulin sends it down. Let's see. Lawton's got it. Lawton back across, wraparound, cannot do it. Dumoulin's got it. Pass, shot, intercepted. One of the Avs blocked it. Puck goes straight up, and it stays in the Avs zone, but Avalanche do keep it. LA does get it. Lawton trying to find something behind the Avalanche net. Once again, some of the Avalanche players are attacking him, trying to get that puck. Malott, I think, is trying to get it. Cannot. Nate just gets it across the McKinnon. And now here comes one of the Avalanche players who dumps in. I think that was Lehkonen. And Dumoulin's got it back around to Ceci. Ceci to Malott. Malott just dumps it down, or that might be Ward, actually. Wedgwood's got it. Let's see here. Hold on. And it's in the neutral zone. LA dumps it right back down to the Colorado zone. Colorado has it behind their own net. One of the LA players falls down, and that puck goes back into the neutral zone where LA is able to recover. Makar's trying to do some things near the neutral zone, trying to take it away. The Avs do regain possession, and there might be a little bit of a step here for Nelson. Nelson is trying to do something here with the puck. Drops off for Makar's shot, stopped by Forsberg. Puck goes to the other side. 1:48 left in the first. Might be a break here. No, there's a Avs player back, so not a break there, and the Kings are not able to keep the zone. Colorado does get possession back in their defensive zone. Colorado's got it. Pass across, and they do send it down. Los Angeles does have it. Doughty, nice try. He feeds it, and there's a stoppage in play here. I'm not sure if this is offside, if this is like icing, or if there's a penalty on the play. It does look like there's a penalty on the play here for the LA Kings or the Colorado Avalanche. Elbowing minor on Byfield, as the Colorado Avalanche will get their first power play of the game with 1:28 left in the first period. And he elbowed. I think that's Makar. No, it's not Makar. It was one of the other guys. So very interesting note there. But the LA Kings are going to be shorthanded for the next 2 minutes. And if the Avalanche are not able to score, that will be the start of the second period too. There should be 32 seconds left if the LA Kings cannot if the Avalanche cannot score on this upcoming penalty. So we shall wait and see how that goes. Hold on a minute here, guys. Once again, they're just showing some of the highlights. Once again, there's 1:28 left in the first period. Shots are 11-7 for Los Angeles, so they're getting some shots on goal. They've just not been able to bury anything. And LA wins this puck off the face-off, and they cleared down the ice. Wedgwood's got it, passes it out to Cale Makar with 1:20 left in the first period. Makar sends it back, and here's a speeding H just trying to get back. He loops it back around to, I think that's McKinnon. McKinnon does get back in the offensive zone, tries to pass, cannot, loops it back around the boards. Avalanche keep possession. Passes back to across to Makar. Makar across, here's Natchez. Natchez trying to find some sort of a passing lane. There's Landeskog and Wad there too. Nice king stick, gets it back into the neutral zone with 1:25 left in the power play. Under a minute to go in the first period. Colorado's trying to get something going again. It's McKinnon across, and I think that's Landeskog who's going to send it around to Wah. Wah gets it, sends it back, and now they get it below the goal line. And now McKinnon along the boards, trying to find some sort of a passing lane, gets it across into the middle. LA's going to intercept that. Clear down the ice. 27 seconds left in the first period. LA is able to get it. Lawton has it across. LaFerriere shot. Nice try, shorthanded, but not enough. And this might be a break here for Colorado. Nate just has it, trying to get through three. Kings players cannot land a Chicago on the boards. LA's going to get it back. Anderson clears it. That might do it for the first period. There's 8 seconds left. Makar has it with 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1, stays in the neutral zone, and that is the first period. So the Avalanche lead the LA Kings 1-0 at the end of the first period. So very interesting to note there. Once again, good stuff from the Colorado Avalanche so far tonight. They do wind up leading 1-0 after one. So hold on a minute here, guys. I'm just going to switch it to intermission. So let's see here. That's going to go to intermission. So very interesting to note there. Let's see here. Hold on a minute. And yes, so once again, 18-minute intermission, so we won't be back. So the second period will start probably about 15 to 20 minutes. So once again, not very much here to discuss. Once again, they're just going to be talking about the game. Let's look at some stats while we wait for this thing to start. So let's see. Hold on a minute here, guys. Just going to go back to the to the box score and see how this game has played out so far. So current shots on goal at intermission is 12-7 for the Los Angeles Kings. The Avalanche will have 32 seconds of power play time once the second period begins, so they will have it. The only goal scoring so far has been from Gabriel Landeskog, who scored a nice shot. He tried to shoot it, it went wide, it bounced off the backboards, went right to Anton Forsberg, who with his pad trying to keep it out of the net, wound up accidentally putting it into his net. So that has been the one goal so far, and Landeskog does have his second of the playoffs in his third game, so good stuff there. Once again, the Kings do win the face-off battle, having won 9 of 17 face-offs. Once again, the Kings are 0-for-1 on the power play. So far, the Avalanche are also 0-for-1 on the power play, but they do have 32 seconds left to begin the second period. Once again, hits are 11-9 for the Avs. The Kings have blocked 6 shots. The Avalanche is 4. The Avalanche have given 4 giveaways to the Kings 3, and the Kings have had 2 takeaways to the Avalanche's 1. So very interesting to know there. The 2 penalties were at 14:44. Manson went off for 2 minutes for cross-checking, and Byfield went off at 18:32, 2 for 2 minutes for elbowing. So Byfield and Manson have the 2 penalties in this game. So that's all of the updates at this current point in time, and that's your intermission report. So very interesting note there. So once again, just to recap some of the things that happened earlier today. The Buffalo Sabres will get down 1-0 early on in this game. We'll go over and just look at some of the stats from those 2 games. Gino, early in the second period, would score the opening goal for the Boston Bruins to give the Bruins an early 1-0 lead in the second period. But since then, the Sabres would score 3 straight. First was Bowen Byram scoring in the second consecutive game for the Buffalo Sabres off a beautiful pass from Noah Ostlund, who was making his playoff debut, which was really good stuff there. That would tie in the second. Then in the third period, Byram would wind up keeping it past to Krebs, past to Tuck, or actually Krebs left it for Tuck, and Tuck was able to put the puck into the net for the Buffalo Sabres. So that was pretty good. That gave the Sabres the lead. And then in the late stages of the third period, Buffalo pulled the goalie, and Noah Ostlund scores his first career playoff goal to give the Buffalo Sabres the 3-1 lead. So it's a big win there for Buffalo. They're going to take a 2-1 series lead into Game 4 with a chance to be up 3-1 at the end of Game 4 and go back to going back to Buffalo. So that is a huge win there for the Buffalo Sabres and keeps my pick of Buffalo in 6 pretty dang on, and it is still a possibility. Meanwhile, when it comes to the other side, we saw the Carolina Hurricanes open the scoring 5 minutes into the first period thanks to Logan Stankoven. This is the 3rd consecutive game in this series that Stankoven opened the scoring for the Carolina Hurricanes. Stankoven opened the scoring in Game 1, Stankoven opened the scoring in Game 2, and Stankoven opened the scoring in Game 3, which were able to lead the Carolina Hurricanes to 3 victories eventually after tonight's game. Then, in the late stages of the second period, Drake Batherson would score a beautiful goal past Frederick Anderson to give the Senators some life and tie that game up at 1 apiece. But then afterwards, just a minute and 23 seconds after that, Jackson Blake would score for the Carolina Hurricanes. That would level that game up. That would give the Carolina Hurricanes a 2-1 lead, and Ottawa was not able to muster enough, and they did lose 2-1 in regulation. So a bad loss there from Ottawa. So the current series is, as it sits right now, Carolina leads their series 3-0. Philadelphia leads their series 3-0. The Sabres lead their series 2-1. Bolts Habs are 1-1. Knights Mammoth are 1-1. Oilers Ducks are 1-1. The Stars lead their series 2-1. And the Avs lead their series 2-0. and a chance to make it 3-0 with a win here, which they are currently doing. So very interesting to note there. Once again, the schedule for tomorrow's game action, we will be having a live stream at 8 p.m. Mountain Time tomorrow between the Ducks and the Oilers. I think it's going to be a very interesting, very high event game for the Ducks and the Oilers. Once again, the full schedule is at 5 p.m. Mountain Time tomorrow. The Habs will play the Bolts. Winner will take a 2-1 series lead in Montreal. So that's going to be a huge game between those two teams. At 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time, the Knights are going to be playing the Mammoth. Once again, we streamed that game on Tuesday, Game 2. That was a beautiful stream. I really do appreciate all of you guys' support in that stream. But the winner here in Game 3 in Utah will take the 2-1 series lead as well. And then in the game that we're streaming at 8 p.m. Mountain Time, the Oilers go to the Ducks. This is the first time since, I think, 2018, the Ducks are going to be having a home playoff game, which is going to be really interesting to see. I expect that game tomorrow to be high event, back and forth game. Could go either way. I can't wait to stream that one. I think it's going to be a lot more high event, high entertaining stuff than what today's game is between Colorado and Los Angeles, because in the first two games, Anaheim Edmonton's been really high event, and Colorado Los Angeles has been a little more low event, 2-1 score lines. So I do expect tomorrow's game between Anaheim and Edmonton to be high event. But all three series that go tomorrow are game threes and are 1-1 current series. So the winners of tomorrow's games will take 2-1 series leads in their series. So very interesting note there. We do have a couple of games that happen on Saturday and Sunday. I will not be streaming any of those ones on Saturday, Sunday. I'm not planning on doing anything there. I'll probably have a couple early next week. Once again, we'll have to figure out how the games go. But at 1 o'clock on Saturday, we'll have Sens versus Carolina, Game 4. So the Senators will be looking to try and keep their playoff hopes alive on Saturday, taking on the Carolina Hurricanes, who are going to be looking for the sweep. Later on at 3:30 p.m. Mountain Time, we will have Stars Wild. That will be an interesting game, as the Stars will be looking for the 3-1 series advantage, and they'll all be looking for the split heading back to Dallas to avoid potentially being in an elimination scenario on, I think it's Tuesday next week. So very interesting to note there. And then at 6 p.m., it will be Penguins and Flyers on Saturday. And once again, the Flyers will have a shot to sweep their Pennsylvania rivals. So very interesting note there. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. But those are three very interesting games that happen on Saturday. And then on Sunday, once again, not streaming anything on Sunday, we do have 4 highly entertaining games. Game 4 between Buffalo and Boston. Buffalo will be looking for the 3-1 series advantage. At 2:30 p.m. Mountain Time, Avs-Kings. Avs could potentially, if they win tonight, be going for the sweep on Sunday, so that's going to be interesting. At 5 p.m. Mountain Time, Bolts-Habs. So the winner of tomorrow's game will be looking to go up 3-1 in that series, and the loser of tomorrow's game will be looking for the split heading back to Tampa. And then the Oilers will play the Ducks at 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time. The winner of tomorrow's game will be looking to go up 3-1. The loser of tomorrow's game will be looking to earn the split heading back to Edmonton. So there's going to be some very interesting games that happen tomorrow, or that happen on Sunday. Once again, there are currently no start times for Monday's games. Currently, the possibilities are Game 5 between the Kings and Sens, Game 5 between the Penguins and Flyers, and Game 4 between the Knights and the Mammoth. Game 4 will definitely happen between Vegas and Utah, but there's a potentiality that neither of Carolina or Philadelphia's games wind up going if they sweep on Saturday. So I expect after Saturday's game action, they'll have a schedule, like time-wise, for the Monday games. They do have a schedule out for Tuesday. However, I do plan on probably, once again, I'll have to figure out the full schedule and things like that, but I'm probably going to do one of the streams on Tuesday next week. Probably won't do on Monday, especially if there's a sweep and there's only 2 games on Monday. But I'll probably will do one on Tuesday. You got 5:30 p.m. Mountain Time, Game 5 between Buffalo and Boston. 6 p.m. Mountain Time, Game 5 between the Wild and the Stars, and 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. Mountain Time, Game 5 between the Ducks and the Oilers. So most likely, once again, I'm not going to say it's a guarantee by any means because I still have some things to work out. But most likely, at this point in time, I'm thinking about doing one on Tuesday next week, maybe Thursday, Friday, and then maybe trying to get as many Game 7 streams in on the weekend as possible. So once again, we will have to wait and see on that. But that's sort of what I'm thinking at this point in time. Probably Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, depending on how many series go how far, and then trying to get as many Game 7s on the weekend as we can. So we shall wait and see how that goes. But that's my current projections for my upcoming schedule, but I will definitely be streaming tomorrow at 8 p.m. Mountain Time between the Ducks and the Oilers, and I definitely do think that will be a very interesting and highly entertaining game. Once again, you're not missing anything. We are currently in intermission between the Avalanche and the Kings. There's still another 8 minutes left of intermission, so once again, you're not missing anything. I do appreciate you guys all for tuning in to the live stream. And I do think that this is going to be a very interesting game. Once again, I do think tomorrow's game between the Ducks and the Oilers will be a little more high event because that series has been 4-3 and 6-4 games instead of 2-1 and 2-1 games. So I'm not sure exactly how many goals. Like I expect this game to probably not have too many more goals. We'll probably see like a 2-1 or a 3-2 scoreline. Maybe it does go to overtime because one of them did go to overtime and one of them almost went to overtime. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw overtime action today, but I don't expect a whole bunch of goals in this game. This is the LA Kings are getting Colorado to play their low event style of hockey, and it's working for the King Avalanche because they are currently leading. But once again, it's not overly high event, highly entertaining hockey. So very interesting to note there. Once again, we don't have any other late night games to check in on because there are no late night games tonight. So very interesting to note there. Once again, I do thank you guys all for tuning in. Once again, my current schedule, we should probably have another fan reaction and game recap tomorrow at some point. I did the Penguins Flyers fan reaction. I did a game recap. I also did my current power rankings for the playoffs earlier today. So if you can and you want to, go check them out. They're on the YouTube channel. On top of that, we probably will have a game recap and a fan reaction tomorrow. Once again, we're probably doing the live stream. Once again, Saturday, probably going to have like a trade rumor video along with another game recap and fan reaction. So once again, it's probably going to be my schedule for the rest of this week. So I don't think we're going to do too many extra videos with us doing the live stream tomorrow, but we shall see. So very interesting note there. A couple of low event games happened today, like 3-1 scoreline, 2-1 scoreline, 1-0 scoreline. Nothing like what happened yesterday. Once again, if you guys did not tune in yesterday, once again, I didn't do a live stream, but there were 3 very interesting games that happened yesterday. On Wednesday, the first one was between the Pennsylvania teams. The Penguins opened the scoring. It was going really well for the Penguins up until the first 5 minutes of the second period, while the Flyers were able to score 3 times in I think around 6 or 7 minutes. That was able to get the Flyers the 3-1 lead, and they would hold on for a 5-2 victory. So that was really good for Philadelphia to get that victory over the Pittsburgh Penguins because they have now put them on the brink of elimination. The next game was a really good high-event thriller, Dallas, Minnesota. Dallas got 2-0 lead. Minnesota scored 3 straight, including one at the late stages of the second period to get a 3-2 lead. Dallas would tie it up in the middle of the third period. It went to overtime. It went to double overtime. Then double overtime, Wyatt Johnston, who I think already has like 6 career game-winning goals and he's only 22 years old. He's a beast, Johnston is. Wound up getting the overtime winner for Dallas Stars last night, which was very interesting. And then we also saw the Ducks play the Oilers in Game 2. That was a high-event, high-level game in which the Ducks were able to ever so slightly get a win. Once again, the Oilers, I think, opened the score, and the Ducks scored 3 straight. Then the Oilers scored, and the Ducks scored again. Then the Oilers scored back-to-back goals, one late second, one early third to tie it up at 4. Then Karagocho scored a late third period goal to give them a 5-4 lead. And then they would get empty netter. So once again, very interesting to note there. Once again, thank you guys all for tuning in. I do appreciate it. We are currently in intermission, so you're not missing anything. We'll be in intermission for the next 4 minutes, and then we'll get you back to play-by-play for the second period. So once again, once that gets a little bit closer to the start of the second period, I will change the middle thing from intermission to the second. Once again, we don't have any other light night games tonight. So very interesting to note there. I do appreciate you guys for tuning in. I also would love to hear guys' thoughts on how entertaining the playoffs have been. Which teams do you think are most likely to head to the second round right now? Like if I had to check on the playoff picture right now, I'd probably say with the way things are going, not my predictions, but who I think is probably most likely to be going on right now, Philadelphia and Carolina, probably most likely. I don't see Ottawa or Pittsburgh reverse sweeping, which would be a completely inverted way of which I had that second round matchup in the Metro going. But I definitely do think Philadelphia and Carolina are very likely to advance at this point in time. I think Buffalo's probably still very likely to advance after they won earlier today. I think Montreal's maybe the more likelier team with all the injuries Tampa has to advance to round two. So I think at this point, the most likely second round matchup would be Montreal Buffalo in the Atlantic, which I don't think will be a half bad series. In the West, I still think Utah. Edmonton probably in the second round, like I was predicting. I could still see the Ducks wind up upsetting the Oilers. I think that's still a possibility, but I still have my doubts about Anaheim. We'll see how tomorrow's game goes. And I still think Utah is probably the better team than Vegas, so I'm still sticking with Edmonton, Utah. And I know that the Avalanche are probably going to win their series. I mean, I'm still sticking with Minnesota. They've had some really close losses. I think they're going to be able to wind up figuring things out and win a couple of games. I'm not sure if they'll be able to win three straight, but whether it's in 6 or 7, I do still think the Wild will be able to take that series. So I do have still the Wild and Avalanche, still Utah, Edmonton. I have Buffalo, Montreal's probably being the most likely one in the East, and I now have Carolina, Philadelphia probably being the most likely Metro Division matchup in the East. So if those ones teams do move on, I would be 5 for 8, which isn't overly bad, but definitely those picks in the Metro Division are killing me. I said Sens in 7, and I said Flyers, and I said Penguins in 5, and boy were those two wrong with how Philadelphia's played and how Carolina's been able to win some very narrow games. Looks like we are about to go back to game action. Looks like we're just about to tune back. So just give me a second here, guys. I'll tune this back to the second period. So just give me a sec here. Hold on a minute. Let's see. The second period. Hold on. So this is the second. So now let's just shift this to the middle more here. And that is good. So we're about to start the second period. The Avalanche do have a 30-ish second power play to start the period. So that's good stuff there for the Avalanche. And we shall see if they're going to be able to extend their lead. So once again, you're not missing anything. We are still in intermission and commercial break at this point in time. Still very interesting to note there. I do appreciate you guys all for tuning in. I know that a lot of you are probably not tuning in because of the NFL draft, so very interesting to note there how the first round of the draft is going on in the NFL. I do hope you guys tune in. I do hope you guys tune in tomorrow to view the Ducks and Oilers play Game 3. I think that's going to be a very entertaining and exciting series. So it'll be very interesting to see if that is going to happen. Once again, we should be a little bit more be able to go a little more back and forth because there's a late night game tomorrow too between Utah and Vegas. So when we have intermissions a couple of times, I'll be able to tune in to Utah Vegas tomorrow and see how that game's going. So we should be able to have a little more of an easier back and forth than tonight. But the two games that played today were in the morning, so that happens the way it happens. But I did want to stream Colorado Los Angeles today. Once again, I do expect tomorrow's game to be a little more highly entertaining because it's the first game in Anaheim in almost, I think, 8 years. Both the games in Edmonton have been exciting, entertaining, and I do think that Ducks Oilers game tomorrow is going to be a very high event game. So I do think that my live stream tomorrow will be a little more entertaining and exciting, given the fact it will be Edmonton Anaheim versus tonight's game, which is Colorado Los Angeles, two teams who are playing very low event hockey in those first two games. So once again, I do appreciate you guys for tuning in here. Once again, you're not missing anything. It's still an intermission. So I do appreciate that for all of you guys tuning in. I do appreciate that. And I left you guys thoughts on the games earlier today, on my live stream so far, and on all the stuff that's happened so far. So once again, we shall see how everything turns out. It looks like we're just about to get underway in the second period between the Avalanche and the Kings. So once again, it looks like we're just about to come out of intermission. So we should be ready to go there. 30 seconds left in the Avalanche power play before that winds up going back to 5-on-5. Yep, we're just getting ready here for the start of the second period. Just give me a sec here. Okay, thank you for that. Okay, so they're just talking to some of the reporters. Once again, very interesting so far between the Kings and the Avs. Just some really quick stats. The Kings did, I think, outshoot the Avalanche 12-7 in that first period. Avalanche have a 30-second power play to start this period. So once again, they're just setting up for the face-off, and that's going to be very, very interesting. So once again, they got Kadri out there, Landeskog, I'm guessing McKinnon, I think Makar, Natchez are all out there for the start of the face-off, and the Avalanche do win it back into their own zone as they try and reset. Colorado's got it with 25 seconds left on their power play. Nice pass. Enter the offensive zone, pass it back to the point. Gets it across. McKinnon has it. Trying to find some sort of passing lane. Shoots. It's blocked. Goes to the wall. LA's got it. Can't get it out. Now they do, and they do get the puck out of the zone with 8 seconds left. And the power play for the Colorado Avalanche. 5-4. They still have in the neutral zone, and the penalty is over for Los Angeles. Colorado's having the offensive zone. Nature's shot goes high, goes to the other side. LA does get it. Might be a break here. Byfield passes it across, and Lawton dumps it down. Byfield trying to chase after it. Colorado regains possession, and Taze has it. Taze to Landeskog. Landeskog dumps it down for Natchez to chase. Natchez trying to find some sort of a lane here. LA does get back, and Colorado can't keep the zone, but they do get the puck back. Nelson, and there was an offside call. Face off outside the LA line with 1 minute and 1 second gone in the second period. So very interesting to note there. Colorado was not able to capitalize on the power play, so both teams are 0 for 1 in today's game. So very interesting to note there. Once again, still shots are 12-7 for the Los Angeles Kings. So very interesting to note there. Once again, Nelson's out there on the face-off dot against, I think that's Byfield, and it is, and Lawton is able, and Nelson wins it. Avalanche gain the offensive zone, dumps it down. Kelly going after it with, I think, Doughty. Byfield fighting for it with Nichushkin. Byfield takes it off Nichushkin. Interception. Colorado shot goes wide. LA is able to get it back, and they're trying to make something happen. Pass it out in front. Nice play. LA enters the offensive zone. LaFerriere in the slot. Shot. Stopped. Rebound. And I think the puck was blocked. Goes to the wall. LA does keep it at the point. Shot by LaFerriere, and the puck trickles wide. Colorado does get back, and they dump it out of the zone. And I think that puck went out of play, actually. I'm not sure if this is a delay of game penalty or not, but the Colorado Avalanche do wind up dumping the puck outside the zone. So very interesting to note there. Once again, they're just showing another interesting play here. Hold on. Once again, they're just showing some highlights, so you're not missing anything. It's currently just a little bit of a break here. So very interesting to note there. I don't think it's a delay of game. I think this is just a face-off in the offensive zone. It is Clark's got it. Clark pass across, shot stopped by Wedgwood. Another offensive zone face-off draw here for the Los Angeles Kings. This time to the right of Scott Wedgwood. So very interesting to note there. Once again, they're just showing some of the highlights more of the past little bit here. Just really interesting. They're just showing some of Natchez' career playoff stats. Once again, he's been to the playoffs with Colorado and Carolina. So very interesting there. LA does win the zone. They keep it in. Los Angeles trying to get something going here. Along the wall, LA isn't able to get out. Then LA's got a shot. It was hit an Avalanche player and goes out of the zone. So very interesting to note there. Just give me a second here, guys. Once again, they are just waiting for another offensive zone faceoff draw here for Los Angeles. They're just pausing for a little bit. Let's see. They're just showing some of the highlights of Los Angeles players shooting the puck. So very interesting. They are going to have an offensive zone face-off draw here, so that's good to note. Once again, offensive zone face-off draw just to the left, I think it is, of Scott Wedgwood. So that's good stuff there. Once again, they're just trying to direct some traffic and things like that. Offensive zone face-off draw, LA does win it, and they're able to keep it in, passes it around. And that puck is going to be caught by Colorado as they try and break out, and they do. Devin Taves, I think that is, enters the offensive zone, passes it in, and Colorado, Los Angeles fighting for it in the corner to the left of Forsberg, and Los Angeles is able to grab it. Colorado does take him off the puck. Nice try by Natchez. And Colorado does have it. McKinnon behind the net. Pass it in front. And stopped. Rebound. Forsberg is able to keep it out. Nice stop from Forsberg. LA is able to get the puck out. Try to pass to LaFerriere. Takes a deflection. And McCarr is able to leave it for Nathan McKinnon. McKinnon hit off by Byfield, but the Avalanche do keep possession. And now hit one of the linesmen, but Avalanche do end up keeping it in the defensive zone. And I think that was Lehkonen tries to get it to McKinnon, cannot. Kempe intercepts, and the Kings have it in the defensive zone. Edmondson CC looking for a pass, does get it, and Colorado is going to lose the puck. LA's got in the neutral zone. Panarin to CC. CC gains the red line and dumps it down the ice again. LA is going to chase after it, and Los Angeles, Colorado fighting for it in the corner. And let's see, once again, they're just fighting for it. There's like 2 Kings and 3 Avalanche players in there. Once again, 16:40 left in the second period, all fighting to the right of Scott Wedgwood, trying to get that puck loose. And the Kings do get it. I think that's Kopitar trying to get some sort of passing lane. He does. They keep it in the offensive zone. CC gets it down below the goal line, passes it across, and they're trying to find something else here. And let's see. And the Avalanche do get it down deep. Let's see. Into the blue line. Shot by Colorado. Rebound. And it looks like it was blocked. LA gets possession of the puck again. Back across the CC. He misplayed it. Has to go back for it. And he does. Dumps it down to the Colorado zone where Colorado recovers the puck. And coming into the wing. Nichushkin stops up. Nice play. He broke one of the Kings' ankles. And now here's a nice play. That's, I think, Malinsky playing below the goal line, but there was no one there for the pass. It went right around the boards, and Colorado's going to have to recover it at the defensive zone. Malinsky gets it. Passes it across. And now it's Kiviranta trying to get that puck along the wall. He does, but Malak keeps it in. Shot tipped in front, and Wedgwood covers it up. Nice play from Scott Wedgwood and some more pushing and shoving in front of the Colorado Avalanche net. So very interesting note there. Nice shot from Malott, but Wedgwood was ready for it. He gloves it down, and we'll get another offensive zone faceoff draw for Los Angeles with 15 and a half minutes left in the second period. So very interesting to note there. Let's see. Once again, they're just showing a replay of the Wedgwood save. Good save there from Scott Wedgwood, and that's great stuff there from the Colorado Avalanche netminder. Once again, they're also showing some of the saves that Anton Forsberg's made. Once again, both goaltenders in this game, as they have been in this series, have been brilliant. So once again, just not an overly high event game in this series, which is not overly entertaining for like people who love lots of goals, which I am one of those people. So very interesting note there. Once again, Colorado, Los Angeles fighting for it. They have an offensive zone faceoff draw for Los Angeles. Lawton's is going to take it, and he's kicked out of the zone. So it's Armia against, I think that's Nick Waugh. Kadri and Landeskog are out there too. And that's Armia who's going to lose the draw. Puck goes to the corner. Colorado gets it, clears it out of the zone. LA is going to get it in the neutral zone. Los Angeles gets it. Tries to dump it down. Puck goes up. Colorado gets it along the boards, and they're fighting for it. It goes back into the Los Angeles zone, and I think there's a stoppage here with 15:19 left in the second period. I'm not sure if this was a puck out of play or if this was an offside penalty or something. Once again, just give me a minute here to figure out what happened. Very interesting to note there so far. They're just, once again, showing some stats. So, yeah, it's going to be a neutral zone face-off draw between Waugh and Lawton. So, once again, very interesting to note there. They're just about to draw out the puck. And it is Lawton who does win that puck. Good job there from Scott Lawton. Passes it down, dumps it back into the offensive zone for Los Angeles. Puck rimmed around the boards by one of the Kings Avalanche defenders. Kings keep the zone. Nice play from Armia. Gets it to below the goal line to Kuzmenko. Kuzmenko making some people miss. Tries a little bit of a cheeky wraparound type shot, but could not. Avalanche maybe breaking out here 3-on-2. Kadri chips it behind one of the Kings defenders. Nice play from Kuzmenko to get back in time and help some of his defenders out. Lawton is able to hold it in the defensive zone. Nice pass there for Kuzmenko, who loops it back up, but the Avalanche get in the defensive zone. Avalanche have it stretch feed. Nice play. Gets it to Landeskog. Back to Roy. Shots. Stopped by Anton Forsberg. And now there's a whole bunch of pushing and shoving in the crease. Waugh and Doughty are locked up in a little bit of a tussle. So very interesting to note there. 14 and a half left in the second period, and another nice stop from Mr. Anton Forsberg. So good stuff there for Los Angeles. It was a 3-on-2 here for the Avalanche as they tried to make it a 2-0 game, but a good stop here from Forsberg. Looks like it was kept out ever so slightly by one of the Kings players. So very interesting to note there. I don't think Forsberg actually had that puck, but it did look like it stayed out of the net, which is very, very interesting. They're just looking at a little bit of a replay here. Yeah, one of the Kings players, I think that was Anderson, wound up sticking that back into Forsberg's pads, and that kept the puck out. So once again, Kings are making some good defensive plays here, which is something they absolutely need to do. But the Avalanche still hold that 1-0 lead. Face-off dot. to the left or to the right of Anton Forsberg, and Byfield wins the faceoff. Good stuff there for him. Moore gets it, backhands it back to Dumoulin, who's trying to reset in the defensive zone. Dumoulin, nice stretch feed here, and they do get it back. And here comes Trevor Moore. Moore, backhand feed shot, and it just goes wide. Byfield tried to tip it in front, and now Colorado's got along the boards. Colorado, Nate just has it, stops up, and he passes it across one of his teammates. Intercepted, but Colorado's back there. But the Kings do still have possession. Enter the offensive zone again. LaFerriere to Byfield, tries to get it in front and scores! The Kings tipped it home! I don't know if it went off an Avalanche player or not, but the Kings have tied the game up at 1 apiece. A huge goal from Los Angeles, and LA is bumping. Massive goal from LA, and the Kings have tied this thing up. It looks like Trevor Moore is going to get credit for this goal. A huge one from Los Angeles, that they're finally able to put something past Scott Wedgwood in this game. We're just going to look at the replay here. One of the Avalanche cleared it, but could not. LaFerriere got it to Byfield. Byfield tried tipping in front, and it went off of Moore and in. It looks like Moore actually got high-sticked. I don't even think Moore knew where that puck was. Wedgwood stopped it, and it looks like it went off of maybe Manson or Moore. Either way, it was one of those two. Oh yeah, Moore took a stick to the face by Scott Manson or Josh Manson, and he was still able to find some way to put that puck in. LA's going to get a double minor on the play. Okay, so this might have just changed the entire thing up. They might be reviewing this, but Manson's going back to the box for the second time tonight, and the LA Kings not only tie the game up, look like they're going to go on the power play for the next 4 minutes. Once again, they're just double checking to see if there's blood, because if there's blood on a high sticking call, it's a 4-minute penalty. If there's no blood, it's a 2-minute minor. But it does look like there is blood, so this is going to be a good goal for Los Angeles. It might have even gone off of Josh Manson, and the LA Kings are going to have they've been reduced. It's a 2-minute power play, but still, what a great break here from Los Angeles. A goal, 55 left in the power play, puck back into the Los Angeles zone, and was now a 1-1 game. So just give me a second here, guys. Once again, into the offensive zone. Here comes Alex LaFerriere trying to break through a couple of players. Does get the puck deep. Colorado gets it, and they cannot clear it. Kempe keeps the line. Now Colorado gets it, and now Colorado clears it. So very interesting to note there. Once again, Los Angeles trying to reset. It was now a 1-1 game. So good stuff there for Los Angeles. Let's see if anything can go on here. Los Angeles got it back in the offensive zone, and Clark trying to find some sort of way to get it over there. Kempe's got it. Back around to Kopitar. Gets to Panarin. Back to behind the net to Kopitar. Back to Panarin. Panarin across the point. Gets to Clark. Clark back to, I think that's Kempe. Back to Clark. Back to, I think that's Kempe, and the pass goes awry. Nice job by Kelly. A minute left in the power play for Los Angeles. And now the Kings do have in the offensive zone. Pass it back to Kopitar. Kopitar to Clark. Across. Shots. And it's just wide. Nice try from Kempe to try and tip it. Once again, Panarin's got it to Kopi. To Panarin. Back to LaFerriere's shot. And it just goes wide. A nice try from Los Angeles. Kopitar's got it back around the boards to Artemi Panarin. Panarin looking for some sort of passing lane along the boards. Let's get to Clark. Gets it to the point to Kempe. Back to Panarin. Panarin shot, and it's blocked. The Avalanche are able to get it, and they are just going to be able to dump it down. So a really good move there from the Avalanche, as they basically cut off the entire penalty at this point. Los Angeles is able to get it, and here comes Byfield trying to whoosh down the middle, and he does. He's in on the offensive side. Byfield trying to stick down through everyone. Shot just wide. Nice try from Quinn Byfield. Kuzmenko's got it, and they aren't able to keep the zone. Penalty is over. This might be a 3-on-2 for the Avalanche. Taves tries to get it back to Manson, who's going off for a change, and the Avalanche are just going to have to regroup. Los Angeles has the puck in their own zone as they're going to try and set some things up in what is now a 1-1 scoreline between the Kings and the Avalanche. And now the Kings are able to get it. Pass it across, backhand, could not get there. Andrei Kuzmenko trying to find some sort of a passing lane, cannot. Avalanche get it, nice tip. And once again, it looks like it's an offside call on Nathan McKinnon. So that will be a stoppage in play with 11.5 minutes left in the second period. We'll go to a commercial timeout. So commercial timeout, commercial break happening right here as the Kings have just tied it up at 1 apiece thanks to Trevor Moore. A beautiful deflection goal while he took a stick to the face by Josh Manson. And now we are tied at 1 apiece with just over 10 minutes left in the second period. So good stuff there from Moore. They needed that one. That was a huge goal there from Los Angeles. So great stuff there. Once again, you're not missing anything. It is currently a commercial break right now. So I do appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. I do appreciate that. Once again, I am going to be streaming again tomorrow at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. We're going to be doing a Oilers Ducks Game 3 live stream. So I do think that's going to be a very interesting game. It's going to be very entertaining, high event sort of game. So good stuff there. But yeah, once again, Los Angeles, Colorado so far has been more of a low event series. So with it being more of a low event series, it's not going to be a whole bunch of goals in this game. I expected a 2-1, 3-2 scoreline maybe for Los Angeles to try and get themselves back in the series. But I don't expect a whole bunch more goals than the two we've already seen. Once again, Moore had a nice tip in front off of a feed from Byfield as he was getting high stick for Josh Manson. And Colorado's goal was a goal that Landeskog shot wide and actually went off of Anton Forsberg's pads and into his own net. So once again, a couple of not fluke goals, but some lucky bounces for both of those teams. And it's a 1-1 game, which has basically been the scoreline of this entire series. For the most of this series, it's been like a tied game, especially in game 2, and only for like a couple of minutes, and then of course the overtime winner. We weren't tied last game. So once again, this is a very low event sort of game. So I don't expect a whole bunch of goals. But it looks like we are coming back here between Colorado and Los Angeles. So very interesting to note there. We're coming back from commercial break. So very interesting to note there. Once again, 11 and a half left in the second period. And once again, the refs are just sort of directing some traffic here. Once again, you are not missing anything. We just got back from commercial break. So very interesting to note there. Once again, just waiting for the refs to drop the puck here. And it looks like we are getting some sort of whistles before the start of this face-off. But once again, just zooming in on the Avalanche bench after the Colorado goal from Trevor Moore just a few moments ago. Face-off just outside the Colorado Avalanche's blue line. Shots are currently 16-10 LA, and Colorado wins the face-off. Colorado gets it back and gets it deep, and LA is going to get an icing. This was actually a shot in just past the red line. So Colorado is going to be able to ice the puck, and LA's going to get an offensive zone face-off draw here with 11 and a half minutes left in the second period. So very interesting to note there. Once again, I do appreciate you guys all for tuning in. I really do appreciate that. Once again, it is a 1-1 game here with 11 and a half left in the second period. Once again, they're just showing some stats of Sam Malinsky, who had a pretty good regular season. Once again, it's been a really solid game between both sides. LA's actually been able to get some pucks on net. LA loses the offensive zone face-off draw. Colorado gets it around the boards, and they are able to get it deep. Nate just is able to win the race to the puck. Nate just looking for some sort of a passing lane, and he's going to have to get back into the neutral zone as they have to tag up, as they were offside. Now Colorado gets it. Makar trying to wheel his way in. He shoots, and it's wide, and the Los Angeles Kings are trying to fight for it here, and LA is able to get it, bank it off the wall, get it to another LA King player, and they dump it down. And Moore has a little bit of a space here. Moore trying to get past one of the Avs defenders, cannot, and now the Avalanche are able to get the puck in the defensive zone. Avalanche do get it. Lehkonen gets it back to Nichushkin. Nichushkin shot, stopped by Forsberg, and the puck is cleared up by one of the LA Kings players. And now Los Angeles does have the puck in the offensive zone. LaFerriere dumps it down. But it's 1-on-3, and there's some changes going on. So, once again, the Avalanche are able to regain possession. They get in the neutral zone into the offensive zone. Nice play from Colton. Shot stopped. A nice play, but they could not capitalize on it. LA is able to Avalanche hold the line. Avalanche trying to do a little bit of a wraparound, cannot. At the point. And it's a shot, and it's deflected wide. A nice try from one of the Avalanche players. Kings get it, and they are able to get it down to the offensive zone. Panarin trying to fight for that puck. Cannot get there, and the Avalanche are able to recover possession. And now the Avalanche have to wait for being onside. Waugh gets it. Edmonton intercepts, and it's back into the neutral zone. And now the Avalanche have to try and find some sort of way to get back at the offensive zone. Landeskog passes in front, cannot hit. I think that was Waugh. And now the Kings get in the offensive zone. Kempe streaking in, shoots, and that hits someone in front. Might have been one of his own teammates. Malott is able to keep in the offensive zone, though, as the Kings keep possession. At the point, Los Angeles tries a shot, goes wide. Colorado's going to get back, and they are going to be able to get out of the defensive zone. Colorado dumps into the offensive zone. LA is going to be able to recover, and Clark dumps it into the Avalanche zone. 9.5 left in the second period. The Avalanche and Kings are fighting for it in the corner. LA doesn't come away with it. Shot, and that was going to be stopped by Wedgwood. Nice stop. Malot's got behind the net, trying to find some sort of a passing lane. He's got Hellenius with him, and I think that's right. Wright is going to be able to get it. CC gets it to Hellenius, who tries this shot. That's blocked. Now Colorado's going to be able to sort of break out 3-on-1 here. Landeskog across to Kadri. Tries to get to Waugh, and it's going to be deflected just wide. 8:59 left in the second period. LA's got it. And CC's going to dump it down to the Colorado Avalanche zone. And now they're going to be fighting for the puck again. Colorado gets it, and Kulak's going to get it out of the zone. Good play from Kulak. McKinnon into the offensive zone, but he loses traction. They have to stop up, and LA gets possession again, dumping it back into the Los Angeles zone. It's really good stuff there. Los Angeles has it, tries another tip in front, could not. LA is going to be able to keep the zone, but just for a second now, Colorado is going to be able to get it. LA's got back in their defensive zones. They loop around the net, and W tries to start something up, and he does. Chips it in. Dumoulin trying to go for it. Wedge was able to get there first, and Colorado does get the possession in the defensive zone. Los Angeles trying to move something there, and they can't. Colorado now got it. I think that's McKinnon. McKinnon trying to weep around. Doughty cannot. And the Kings are able to get it back out, but the Avs keep it in. And now the Kings are able to get it. Loop it around the boards and actually hit an Avalanche player. They keep it in the offensive zone. Avalanche to the point. Pass across to Makar. Makar walking the blue line with a shot. Score! Cale Makar, a beautiful goal, and the Avalanche regain their lead. They're up 2-1. Absolute magnificent stuff from Cale Makar, who walked the blue line and put a laser past Anton Forsberg. Avalanche lead 2-1. A huge win there from the Colorado Avalanche as they regain their 2-goal advantage. They regain their advantage. Beautiful, beautiful shot from Cale Makar. Might have been tipped in front. I'm not exactly sure. Let's see. Makar's shot. And I don't think that was tipped. That was just a beautiful shot from Mr. Cale Makar, who had a laser beam of a shot. Forsberg, too many bodies in front. Forsberg never saw it. And the Avalanche, with 7:48 left in the second period, have regained their lead. They are now up 2-1. That's a huge goal there for Colorado to regain their lead. So good stuff there for the Avs as they are up 2-1. The Avalanche have it back again in the offensive zone. McKinnon shot, and it just goes wide. And now the Kings are able to get it and trying to get some single going here. Moore's got it, and he loses possession, and the Kings do wind up clearing it down back into the offensive zone. So really good stuff there for Los Angeles. Once again, it is Cale Makar's goal, so really good, beautiful shot there from Cale Makar. Colorado's got it, and they're just able to get out of the defensive zone. Los Angeles trying to get the puck back. Colorado does get it. Nice tip in front by Colorado, and they dump it back into the defensive zone and the offensive zone, and it goes right to Forsberg, who covers up. We're going to get an offensive zone face-off draw here for the Colorado Avalanche with 7:09 left in the second period. So really good stuff there, but Cale Makar has just put the Colorado Avalanche ahead 2-1. So a big goal there from Makar to give the Avalanche the 2-1 lead, as the Avalanche are going to be trying to go up 3-0 in this series tonight and potentially sweep it on Sunday, I think it is. So really good stuff there for Colorado. Once again, 17-13 are the shots for the Los Angeles Kings. However, the Avalanche are up 2-1. So good stuff there for Colorado. LA is going to be able to get the puck to get into the offensive zone. Kempe trying to maneuver around some things, could not. And now they are able to get it down back into the offensive zone. Los Angeles trying to find some sort of a passing lane. Kopitar back to the point, and they can't keep it in. And Colorado's got possession, and they dump it back into the LA zone. Really good stuff there for Los Angeles. Doughty's going to take a big hit from one of the Avalanche players. Stays in the defensive zone for LA, and LA does wind up getting back possession. Colorado shot stopped. And once again, the puck is still in the LA zone. Waugh trying to find a way to get that puck back for Colorado. Cannot. CC is able to get it and gets it past the blue line, clears it back into the LA Colorado zone. And that's actually going to be an icing call on Cody Ceci. That'll be an offensive zone face-off draw for the Colorado Avalanche with 6:23 left in the second period. And the Colorado Avalanche now up 2-1 thanks to a beautiful goal from Cale Makar. So really good stuff there. And once again, we'll see if the Avalanche are going to be able to hold on to this lead going forward, or if the LA Kings can potentially tie it up. But we're not going to commercial break. They're just showing the goal. So once again, offensive zone faceoff draw here for Colorado. The official goal is Makar from Taze and Lehkonen, so good stuff there for the Avalanche, who lose this offensive zone faceoff draw, still trying to fight for that puck. And in the corner, Kadri cannot get to it. Dumoulin has it in the corner, trying to find some way to get it out. And the Avalanche keep the line, pass, and Cece's going to be, it almost trickled into Forsberg. And this might be a penalty or something. Once again, the puck took a weird bounce, almost went in on Forsberg. He was able to cover it up for a split second, but then Landeskog ran into him. I wonder if this is going to be a penalty on Gabriel Landeskog. Let's see. It might be an interference minor on Landeskog, or maybe on one of the Kings players who pushed him into it. No, it's McKinnon. There's actually an interference penalty on Nathan McKinnon here. So once again, we're going to commercial break. You're not missing anything. But with 6:05 left, the LA Kings are going to be going to their third power play of the game. They are so far 0 for 2, if I'm correct. So very interesting note there, but we are going to see Colorado and Los Angeles. See how this finishes out. There's 6 minutes left in the second period and then the entirety third period. So once again, no other games to check in on tonight. We only had 3 games today. This one, of course, between the Avalanche and the Kings. We do have 2 finals from earlier in the day, as the Buffalo Sabres were able to take down the Boston Bruins 3-1. So that was very interesting and very entertaining game there between the Sabres and the Bruins. And then the Hurricanes were able to take down the Ottawa Senators 2-1. So with those scores, the Sabres have taken a 2-1 series lead in their series, with a chance to potentially go 3-1 on, I think it's Sunday. And the Canes have taken a 3-0 series stranglehold lead on the Ottawa Senators, and they might be able to sweep that series on Saturday. So some very interesting games. And once again, we could have 2 first series wind up finishing on Saturday if the Canes are able to sweep the Sens and the Flyers are able to sweep the Penguins. So we could get a couple of very interesting sweeps happening on Saturday, and our first 2 teams moving on, which would actually be the second round matchup. If Carolina and Philadelphia both win on Saturday, then we will have a Carolina-Philadelphia second round matchup, which is the exact opposite of what the second round matchup I thought in the Metro Division. So very interesting to note there. But the Canes, the Flyers, both have had really good starts to the playoffs and have both been able to find ways to win. So we'll see if they're going to be able to. They're just coming back from the break. Maybe Hellenius got the interference call. This might be a coincidental penalties. So we'll just wait and see here. This might be 4-on-4 hockey. I don't exactly know, but they're just showing Hellenius lay some hits on McKinnon, and it looks like both of them are going to be going to the box. So once again, I don't know if this is going to be a power play for either team or if this is just coincidental roughing minors, and the Avalanche and the Kings are going to be playing 4-on-4. Once again, just let me figure it out. And it looks like we are going to be playing for a side by the looks of things. So yeah, it looks like 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes. There's 6 minutes left in the second period. Colorado wins it. Taze to Makar, tries to get it back, and he does, but it goes back out of the zone, and Aegis has to recover. Aegis and Nichushkin in the defensive zone. Nichushkin out there with Nelson, Taze and Makar. Taze gets the puck back in the defensive zone, trying to get away from LaFerriere. He does, and Taze gets it to Nichushkin. Nichushkin sends it up. Nice pass. Here comes Brock Nelson. He's got a little bit of space, shoots, and that's stopped by Anton Forsberg. And now Doughty's got it. Doughty back to the point, and Colorado intercepts it, keeps it in. Nice play. Here's, I think, Nelson back across to Makar. Makar walking in, shoots, no, wraparound, stopped. A beautiful stop from Anton Forsberg on the wraparound attempt from Cale Makar. Byfield's got it, and the puck does trickle into the defensive zone for Colorado, so a good clear there for the Los Angeles Kings as Colorado tries to regroup. And here comes Martin Necas. Necas trying to get around a couple of LA Kings players, cannot. Kempe gets the puck as the Kings now try and reset. 57 seconds left on the 4-on-4. So very interesting note there. Dumoulin's got it, and it's taken back by Colorado. Lehkonen's got it in the offensive zone, shoots, and it looks like it was wide. It goes all the way down the ice, and Colorado's going to have to try and recover. Malinsky trying to take it around, jukes out Kempe, and tries to get some things started. Passes it to Necas. Necas has passed it back to Malinsky. Malinsky trying to get something going here. Goes up, down the middle, gets into the offensive zone. Colorado's got in the offensive zone at the point, and they're going to have to reset. They go back out of the offensive zone. 23 seconds left in the 4-on-4. Colorado's got it. Kadri gets it back to Malinsky. Malinsky looking for some sort of passing play. Shoots, and it was blocked in front. Kadri's going to keep the zone. But now LA's got it. Here comes Artemi Panarin, one-on-one with one of the Avalanche defenders. Panarin cannot get the puck, and the Avs are going to survive there. 2-1, 4-on-4 is over, and McKinnon and Helenius are out of the box. Colorado does gain offensive zone pressure again. Natchez to McKinnon. McKinnon back to Taze. Taze to Burns. Burns shoots. It's blocked in front. Los Angeles is able to get it out. Good play there from Los Angeles. Colorado's got it to McKinnon. McKinnon to Lehkonen. Lehkonen to the point shot, stopped by Burns. Taze has it all rolled off with Taze's stick, and it goes back into the neutral zone. 3.5 left in the second period. 2-1 Colorado leads. Very interesting so far. And the puck rolls on Forsberg. He covers up with 3:29 left in the second period, and a 2-1 Colorado Avalanche advantage. So very interesting to note there. Once again, if you guys can, leave a subscribe, leave a chat, leave a comment down below. Really does appreciate it. Tell all your friends the best hockey content on YouTube is here at the End-to-End Hockey Challenge, just showing a replay of Makar's wraparound attempt. Oh, I think that was Doughty who actually got a stick on it to prevent that goal on Cale Makar. What a play from Drew Doughty, because there was a little bit of space there between Forsberg's pad and the post. So a great play there from Doughty to keep this a one-goal game. Beautiful stuff there. And the Avalanche have an offensive zone faceoff draw with 3.5 left in the second period. And the Avalanche do win it. Malinsky has it at the point. Shot, and it's going to be gloved by Forsberg. Another offensive zone faceoff draw for the Avalanche with 3.5 left, but it looks like we're going to be going to commercial break right now. 3:24 left in the second period, and a 2-1 Avalanche lead. So very interesting note there. Once again, if you haven't tuned in already, we have a very interesting game here between the Avalanche and Kings. I am going to be streaming again tomorrow at 8 p.m. Mountain Time between the Oilers and the Ducks. A huge game, high event game I'm expecting between the Ducks and the Oilers. I expect that game to be very, very entertaining. So definitely don't forget to check out that video on Friday, tomorrow, and I definitely will hope that you guys all stay tuned. On top of that, we do have a couple of games probably we're going to be doing next week. I'm not doing anything Saturday or Sunday. I have to see how those games go before I make some sort of a schedule for next week. But I do expect this to be a very interesting one. Yes, this is live. So currently at this point in time, the Avalanche and Kings are in a very interesting game. 2-1 Avalanche. We are in a commercial break right now. There is 3.5 minutes left in the second period, and then we're going to be going to the third. So this is a live game 3 feed, play-by-play between the Avalanche and the Kings. So yes, this is live. So very interesting to note there. Once again, I am planning on going live tomorrow at around 8 p.m. Mountain Time as well, talking about the Ducks and the Oilers game, which is going to be one heck of a game tomorrow. First game in, I think, 8 years. First playoff game that's going to be happening in Anaheim. So that's going to be an interesting game there. Once again, I am going to be streaming that tomorrow. Once again, I do hope you guys all tune in for that Ducks-Oilers game tomorrow. I think it'll be a really fun game. Both games in Edmonton have been very high-event games. So I do expect that one tomorrow to be high event too. Lots of goals, lots of chances. You've got McDavid on the ice. You've got the other ones there. Once again, the Nordiques logo's up there because the Nordiques, I don't have a couple of banners up there, and the Nordiques used to be the Avalanche. So that's the only reason the Nordiques logo is up there. Once again, Colorado is playing LA right now. So once again, there's no official ties to the Nordiques, but because I don't have the Avalanche's banner, they're one of a few teams so I do not have the banner for yet. I'm just putting up their former club's team in the Nordiques. So once again, the Quebec Nordiques are only up there because I don't have the Avalanche's logo banner. So I think I only don't have Tampa and Colorado's banner. I do have every other teams in the playoffs, but I don't have Tampa and Colorado. So that's why the Nordiques are up there right now. The Avalanche win the draw. Malinsky shoots, and it's a wide shot. Goes back to the boards, and the Avalanche are able to keep the zone for a little bit. And the puck goes back out. Los Angeles now has possession. Once again, they're fighting for it along the boards. Colorado does get it. A little bit of a stretch feed here. Shot, I think that was Parker Kelly, and he's not able to get it, or actually Jack Drury. The Avalanche cannot keep the line, and they have to regroup at neutral ice. And now the Avalanche are going back into the offensive zone. Parker Kelly, and he gets it down. Dumoulin is not able to get the puck. They're fighting for it in the corner, and the Avalanche for the time being keep the zone. O'Connor looking for some sort of passing. He does get it below the goal line, gets it back to the point. I think this is Burns, shoots, and the puck goes wide. Drury's got it now. Drury passes it back. A couple of players fighting for it along the boards. The Avalanche are trying to fight for it, and they do keep the line, and it's just for a second. Kings get it out. Avalanche have to regroup with 2:28 left in the second period, so very interesting. The Avalanche had a breakaway, but one of the players tripped. A nice try for Los Angeles, but could not keep it. And now Los Angeles has a little bit of a break here, but Colorado's able to keep it. Los Angeles now does bring it into the offensive zone. Colorado's going to be able to keep it, and they get the puck back. LA intercepts, shoots, and it goes over the net. A nice try from Los Angeles. I think that was LaFerriere. Byfield to LaFerriere. Shot stopped by Wedgwood. 2 minutes left. LA shot another shot again from one of the defenders, and they cannot. Kulak tries to clear it. Cannot. Now he tries to clear it, and the puck will not go past, and now it does. It just trickles past Byfield. LA's got it again. Dips it into the offensive zone. And now the Colorado Avalanche got Tave. Tries a little bit of a stretch feed here, intercepted by Los Angeles, and there's an offside, so Colorado has to tag up. LA's got it in the off defensive zone with a minute and a half left. Panarin's got it, gets it to red line, dumps it down. Colorado trying to get to it, and they do. Tries to loop it around, cannot. Kopitar with a nice intercept, fighting for it in the corner. Colorado is able to get it. Makar looking for some sort of passing lane here, trying to get away from a couple of LA Kings forwards, and he's not able to. Kempe with the intercept. Kempe trying to get some sort of passing lane, and the puck is blocked. It's back in the LA Kings zone. Los Angeles has to come back to get it with a minute and 6 seconds left in this second period. Here comes Los Angeles. They wind up coming in. This might be a 3-on-2 if one of those players can hurry. It's a nice shot blocked by one of the Avalanche players in front. LA keeps it in, cycling it along the far boards. Gets it across Edmondson, and that was, I think, blocked. Tried to get backhand fast back in front, but cannot. Los Angeles back at the point. This is Clark's shot, stopped, and the Avalanche are able to get the puck out of the zone with 40 seconds left in the second period. Here comes Kuzmenko. Kuzmenko passes it nicely into the offensive zone. Lawton has a little bit of space here, and he lost the puck. A nice try. Tried to dangle around some of the Avalanche defenders, but could not. They're playing for it in the corner. Colorado does get it with 24 seconds left in the second period, and Landeskog chips it down. LA is going after it in the defensive zone for Los Angeles, and they're fighting for it. 16 seconds left. Colorado keeps the line. Shot, and it's stopped by Forsberg, who's going to cover it up with 11.1 seconds left in the second period, and a 2-1 Avalanche lead. So really good stuff there from Colorado. 11 seconds left in the second period, and then we will go to the third. So let's see here. Once again, they're just showing some of the highlights. A really good shot there from one of the Los Angeles Kings players. I think that was LaFerriere, and here's another shot from LaFerriere. So some really good chances here from Los Angeles. Yoel Edmondson with another nice try, but he fanned on it. I thought it was blocked, but he just got fanned on it. So a bad blow there for Los Angeles, trying to get something going here. Just looking at LaFerriere having 7 points in 14 career playoff games, a goal and 6 assists. So he was looking for his second career playoff goal. And let's see, LA wins the defensive zone faceoff draw, and they get it. Send it down. Los Angeles trying to get onside with a few seconds left. 2-1, and the shot's blocked. We're going to go to intermission in the second period with a 2-1 scoreline for the Colorado Avalanche. So let's change that up here. And once again, there will be 20 minutes of a break in game action before we go over to the third period. So just give me a second here, guys. We'll change that to intermission. And we'll move that to the middle. So, yeah, they're just going off here. A big third period upcoming here for Los Angeles, because if they lose, which they're currently doing right now, I don't like their chances of coming back and having to reverse sweep the President's Trophy champs. So, very interesting. But at this current point, we are in intermission. You're not missing anything. And the Colorado Avalanche are up 2-1 on the Los Angeles Kings. So, very interesting to note there. Let's see how the rest of this game goes. But let's look at some stats, and let's preview the next couple days of game action, plus look at what happened last night and earlier today. So let's just first look at the intermission report for this LA Kings Colorado Avalanche game. So first, the shots in this game so far are 19-15 for the LA Kings. The scoreline, of course, is 2-1 Colorado. The first score was Gabriel Landeskog. who opened the scoring in the first period, and that was followed by Trevor Moore, who tied the game up in the second, and that was followed up by Cale Makar, who was given the Colorado Avalanche the go-ahead goal. So good stuff there for Colorado. Just some other stats here: the Avalanche now lead the face-off dots. They have eight. They've won 18 of 35 face-offs. So good stuff there for Colorado. On top of that, let's see here. Once again, Colorado's taken 3 penalties. The Kings have taken 2 penalties, and the Kings are 0 for 2 on the power play. The Avs are 0 for 1 on the power play. There was a little bit of 4-on-4 action earlier in that second period. So very interesting note there. Hits are 24-20 right now for the Los Angeles Kings, so a slight edge in the hits category for Los Angeles. Both teams have blocked 12 shots. On top of that, both teams have given the puck away 8 times, and the Avalanche are outdueling the LA Kings 3-2 in the takeaway category. So those are the stats at the intermission break. So very interesting to note there. Once again, shots are 19-15 LA and goals are 2-1 Colorado. So very interesting to note there. Once again, just looking at some things that happened earlier today and some things to look forward to over the next couple of days, including the weekend. So earlier today, we saw 2 interesting games happen. The Buffalo Sabres would give up the first goal of the game in the second period as it was Tanner Jeannot who got his first goal with the Boston Bruins in the postseason, would open the scoring to give the Boston Bruins a 1-0 lead over the Buffalo Sabres. But then the Sabres would score 3 unanswered goals. Later in the second period, it was Noah Ostlund setting up Bowen Byram, who got a second consecutive goal in the second consecutive game. So good stuff there for Byram, who now has a couple of playoff goals that tied the game up. Then in the middle of the third period, Alex Tuch was able to get a goal, a nice drop feed from Peyton Krebs. That would give the Los Angeles Kings, that would give the Buffalo Sabres the lead. So that was a huge goal there from Alex Tuch. And then in the later stages, with the goalie pulled, the Buffalo Sabres were able to put one more puck past Jeremy into the empty net with the goalie pulled for Boston as Austin scores first career playoff goal. So once again, Sabres win 3-1. They now have a 2-1 series lead. Really good stuff there from the Buffalo Sabres. Well, for the Carolina Hurricanes and Ottawa Senators, this was also another very interesting game. Carolina, for the 3rd consecutive game, opened the scoring, and for the 3rd consecutive game in the series, it was opened the scoring by Logan Stankoven, who had 3 goals, the game opener goal in each of the first 3 games, which is very, very interesting. That's the way it would stay until late stages of the second period, while Drake Batherson was able to find a goal and was able to tie the game up for the Ottawa Senators. But in the third period, a minute and a half later, Jackson Blake would score. That Blake, Hall, Stankoven line has just been killing Ottawa, and Blake was able to put them go ahead 2-1, and that's the way the score would stay until the end of the game. Canes win 2-1, so they are now up 3-0 on the Ottawa Senators, and they have a chance to sweep on Saturday. So very interesting note there, but those were the earlier 2 games today. Yesterday, we did see some very interesting action. Once again, 3 very interesting games. The Flyers played the Penguins. It was basically a must-win for Pittsburgh, being down 2-0, and they got off to a good start with a power play goal from Evgeny Malkin. So it was really good stuff there from Pittsburgh. But then Philly would score 3 consecutive second-period goals, and that was really all they needed. Pittsburgh would make it 3-2 in the third period, but the Flyers would get a power play goal to make it 4-2. Then they got an empty netter to make it 5-2 and wound up holding on for a 5-2 victory. Huge win there from the Philadelphia Flyers as they were able to take out the Pittsburgh Penguins 5-2 and now own a 3-0 series lead heading to their 4th game on Saturday, which we'll get to in a minute. Then we saw Dallas, Minnesota, very highly entertaining game. Dallas would go to 2-0 lead in the first period. 3 goals straight for the Minnesota Wild would give them a 3-2 lead late in the second period. They would bring that lead to the third period, where halfway through the third period, the Dallas Stars would actually tie the game up, which was very interesting. It went to overtime, and when nothing was solved in overtime, it went to double overtime. And in double overtime, thanks to Wyatt Johnson, who got a 6th career game-winning playoff goal, which is absolutely insane, the Dallas Stars were able to take the victory over the Dallas Stars were able to take the victory over the Minnesota Wild. So really good stuff there from Dallas as they were able to take this victory. So good stuff there so far from the Dallas Stars. On top of that, we did see another very interesting game yesterday between the Ducks and the Oilers as the Ducks wound up after giving up the first goal, scored 3 straight goals. Then the Oilers scored, then the Ducks scored again. Then the Oilers would score twice, one late in the second period, one in the third period to tie that game up at 4 apiece. But in the dying stages of the third period in last night's game, Cutter Gauthier would get a huge goal to give the Ducks a 5-4 lead. They got an empty netter and won 6-4 to tie up their series at 1 apiece. So very interesting note there. We do have a couple of very interesting games looking forward to over the weekend. So tomorrow we do have 3 games on the docket, all 1-1 series, all game 3. So there are going to be some huge matchups tomorrow. We have the Montreal Canadiens taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. That is going to be a very entertaining game. Both games in Tampa went to overtime. I expect it to be a very close game. I will probably give Montreal the edge at this point in time, but that's going to be a very entertaining game tomorrow. It's the only earlier game tomorrow, the only one around the 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock Mountain Time slate. And then we will have 2 evening games. One of them I will be streaming. First game is 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time. We have Utah taking on Vegas. That's going to be a very interesting one. 1-1 series, first ever playoff game in Utah. That building is going to be buzzing. And then I will be live streaming the latest game tomorrow, which is at 8 p.m. Mountain Time between the Ducks and the Oilers. That's going to be a heck of a game. Once again, like I said, the first 2 games were high event, high entertaining games. So I do expect that game to be very high event. First game in the playoffs in Anaheim in over 8 years. So it's going to be rocking in that city too. So Anaheim and Utah tomorrow are going to be bumping, and the Ducks and the Mammoths are going to be trying to take those 2-1 series leads, as are the Habs on home ice. So those are going to be some very interesting games tomorrow, and definitely I do hope you guys tune into tomorrow's live stream at 8 p.m. Mountain Time for the Ducks and the Oilers Game 3. Then on Saturday and Sunday, I won't be doing any live streams. We do have some very interesting games over the weekend. On Saturday, first, we do have a 1 o'clock start time between the Canes and the Senators. That's going to be a very interesting game. Canes will have the opportunity to sweep the Senators in 4 games, which will be very fantastic. At 3:30 p.m. Mountain Time on Saturday, we will have Stars Wild. This is going to be another interesting game. The Wild are going to be looking to tie up the series and back to Dallas. Dallas is going to be looking for the 3-1 series lead and the chance to end it when they head back to Dallas. So that's going to be an interesting series. And then Penguins Flyers will happen at 6 o'clock Mountain Time on Saturday. That's going to be an interesting game. The Flyers are going to be looking for the sweep of the Pittsburgh Penguins, so that's going to be interesting. And then on Sunday, we do have 4 games, once again staggered. Once again, I'm not doing any live streams on Sunday, but at noon, we do have Sabres versus the Bruins. That's going to be a very entertaining game at noon on Sunday. 2:30 p.m. Mountain Time, we do have Avs Kings, so if the Avs score does stay, they'll have the opportunity to sweep the Kings on Sunday. Once again, the Sabres will be looking for the 3-1 lead on Sunday afternoon, and the Bruins will be looking to tie up that series. On Sunday at 5 p.m. Mountain Time, we have Habs versus Bolts. The winner of tomorrow's game will be looking to go up 3-1 on Sunday, and the loser of tomorrow's game will be looking to go to tie the series up at 2 apiece, heading back to Tampa. And then on Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time, we have the Ducks taking on the Oilers. The winner of tomorrow's game will be looking to take the 3-1 series lead back to Edmonton, and the loser of tomorrow's game will be looking to take that 2-2 series back to Edmonton. So we shall wait and see how those ones go, but those are the updates for the future scheduling. Once again, I'm not planning on doing anything this weekend on Saturday or Sunday. I am planning on doing some more live streams next week, but we do have to figure out and wait to see how everything plays out over the weekend before I make any sort of commitments on what games I'm doing. So once again, hopefully Sunday, Monday, I'll be able to post out a scheduling for the next week, so we shall wait and see how that happens. But I am planning on doing a couple more live streams next week on top of doing the one tomorrow, and then we'll probably have one over the next couple of weeks as we get to the second round, the conference final, and the Stanley Cup final. So we should have some very interesting live streams, but I do hope you guys all tune in for my 8 p.m. Mountain Time video tomorrow between the Oilers and the Ducks. I think you guys really like it. But once again, there's still 7 minutes left in intermission between the Kings and the Avalanche. Once again, that's been a very interesting game between the Kings and the Avalanche so far. The Avalanche opened the scoring just 5 minutes in, thanks to Landeskog. He shot the puck, it went wide, but bounced right off the back wall, right back to the net. And Forsberg, who was sliding backwards at the time, wound up sliding up into his own net, which wasn't overly great. That was the opening goal. Then in the second period, Quinn Byfield tried to do a pass into a couple of different bodies, and as he was getting high sticked, Trevor Moore did wind up getting a little bit of a touch on the puck and putting that past Scott Wedgwood. So it was a lucky bounce because Moore did not even know where that puck was. So he was able to get a stick off of it, put it into the net, and that made it a 1-1 game. And then a couple of minutes later, Cale Makar would walk the line and shoot a bullet of a shot past Anton Forsberg, which would give the Avalanche their current 2-1 advantage. So once again, as soon as we get closer to the start of the third period, I will change the middle of the thing. But once again, that's so far what's been happening. I do appreciate all of you guys for tuning in on this Thursday evening, and I do hope you guys tune in tomorrow for the Ducks and the Oilers game, which I think will be one heck of a battle between those two teams. So we shall wait and see what happens there. And I do appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. Once again, I will be calling the Kings and Avs game as soon as it's done. There's still about 5 minutes left in intermission. So once it's done, we will be able to get back to the live stream. I do appreciate all of you guys' chats, comments, subscribes, likes. I do appreciate that. We're trying to hit 750 potentially by the end of the second round of the playoffs. I know we're already 90 away, but I do appreciate you guys subscribing. So if you guys like the content, like the channel, I do appreciate you guys. Maybe subscribe. It really does help the channel. We're trying to hit 750 in the very near future. Once again, we're almost 2 hours into this live stream, just under 5 minutes left in intermission, so we should head back in the very near future. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts down in the chat below, down in the comment section below. What was your opinions on all of the games so far that happened earlier today and also the series in general? Are you surprised that Montreal Tampa is 1-1 going into tomorrow's game? Are you surprised that the Sabres have taken a 2-1 lead? Are you surprised it's not 3-0 Sabres? Are you surprised that the Flyers are on the verge of a sweep of Pittsburgh? Are you surprised that the Canes are on the verge of a sweep of Ottawa? Are you surprised that the Avalanche are up 2-0, potentially going up 3-0 later today? Are you surprised that the Stars are up 2-1 on the Wild, and that the Wild up 2-1 on the Stars, or potentially up 3-0 on the Stars? Are you surprised that the Ducks Oilers split the two games in Edmonton? Are you surprised that the Mammoth and Knights split the two games in Vegas? So I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on all of those things down in the comment section below. And which playoff series do you guys think is in the most entertaining so far in this year's playoffs? So I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on all of that down in the comment section below. But that's all that we're going to be talking about here. We're just about to get back into game action. There's about 3.5 minutes left in intermission, so I do appreciate you guys all for tuning in and staying up to date with this video, and I do appreciate you guys checking it out, and I hope you guys do check it out tomorrow. So I do appreciate you guys checking it out here, and once again, we'll be with you for probably about the next hour, so long as it doesn't go to overtime, and we'll see if the Kings are going to be able to come back, or if this is going to be a 3-0 Avalanche series at the end of the night. We're getting pretty close here, so I'm going to change it over to the third period. So just give me a second here, guys. I'm going to change this to the third. So that's good now. And then let's move this a little bit to the middle. So that should be good. And we should be able to get in the third period in about 3 minutes. So that's fantastic. Once again, I'll have you guys' thoughts on this series in particular, too. Like, so far, the first two games were 2-1 scorelines, and that's where we are right now, just about to enter the third period. So are you surprised that the Kings have sort of been able to get the Colorado Avalanche to play their sort of dump and chase, low-event style game? And are you surprised that the Avalanche are, at this point in time, playing it better than the LA Kings? So I'll let you guys' thoughts on all of that. We're about just under 3 minutes away from the start of the third period, so it'll be a very interesting finale to this third period. Will be very, very interesting. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. So once again, I do appreciate all of you guys for tuning in, and I do hope you guys tune in for tomorrow's game between the Ducks and the Oilers. I think it's going to be a lot more entertaining than this Kings Avalanche game has been, and I think there'll be a lot more goals, a lot more chances, a lot more offense in general, because when the Kings play, they usually play a low event style of game. We are just over 2 minutes away from the third period starting, so that's really good stuff there. Once again, there are no later games today. There are only 3 games today instead of like the last couple of years where there have been 4. So there's no other games to check in on tonight. Like we said, the 2 games that we're playing today earlier in the day were final, with the Canes winning 2-1 over Ottawa and the Sabres winning 3-1 over Boston. So really good stuff there. I really do appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. Once again, for future references for other videos I have planned, tomorrow we're probably just going to have a fan reaction to one of the games that happened today. I'm not exactly sure which one yet. And a game recap. And then on Saturday, and then we're going to have the live stream late in the evening. And then Saturday, we're probably going to have a trade rumor video as well as a fan reaction and a game recap. So that's probably my schedule for the rest of the week. Once again, I'm not planning on doing any live streams on the weekend. And then probably sometime either Monday or Tuesday. At this point in time, with the way the series are shaping up, most likely going to be Tuesday. We're going to do another live stream. But once again, I'll have an update Sunday or Monday about when the next live stream will be after tomorrow. So very interesting to note there. But we do have some very interesting games. It looks like the third period is just about to get underway between the Kings and the Avs. So we'll put this back here. And we will be live now. So it looks like the Avalanche and Kings are just getting underway. So that's really good stuff there. This should be the last commercial, and then we're going to be going back into game action between the Kings and the Avalanche. So once again, the Avalanche currently hold a 2-1 lead over the Kings entering the third period. They're up 2-0 in this series, have won both games previously 2-1, so this is sort of a similar scoreline. The Avalanche are looking to go up 3-0 in this series and trying to potentially sweep them on Sunday, while the Kings are going to be trying to get back in the series, potentially send it to overtime, potentially make it a little bit more interesting in the third period, and trying to save their season and avoid that 3-0 hole, which is something that Ottawa and Pittsburgh are now in. So we shall wait and see if the Kings are able to get back in this series, or if the Avalanche are going to be able to hold on to this lead and just end it. So we shall wait and see on that. Once again, the only way at this point, if this score stays, the Kings win is have to be a reverse sweep, which at this point in time, I don't really see the Kings reverse sweeping the President's Trophy champs. Maybe they can win 1 or 2 more games if they do go down 3-0, but I don't feel like they're going to be able to reverse sweep. I think from the teams that are still for teams that are either down or could potentially be down 3-0, I think the Sens have the best chance because of how close their games have been and because of the talent on that team to reverse sweep against Carolina. I think the Penguins have a better chance than Los Angeles to reverse sweep Philadelphia. I just don't see LA being able to have any sort of chance to reverse sweep Colorado. So once again, very interesting to note there. We're just getting through the last few commercials. Then we'll have puck drop in the third period between the Avalanche and the Kings. And once again, we are going to be doing a live stream tomorrow at 8 p.m. Mountain Time between the Ducks and the Oilers, the first playoff game in Anaheim in over 8 seasons. So it's been a while, but we're going to be streaming that game. I expect it to be a very high event game. So once again, they're just showing some of the highlights from the first 2 periods, some of the goals from Makar, from Landeskog, from Moore. So very interesting there. We're just starting the third period. They're just able to drop the puck as the Avalanche and Kings are going to be playing here. And the Avalanche win the zone and get back into the defensive zone. Makar gets it across to, I think that's Manson, and the Kings are able to get back in the neutral zone. Byfield across to Mickey Anderson. Anderson along the wall, and he dumps it back into the Avalanche zone. Avalanche dump it back into the neutral zone, and the Kings are trying to get back possession in the defensive zone. Anderson hit off the puck by Arturi Lehkonen. Kepme does get it, though. Avalanche keep the zone. Anderson still fighting with Lehkonen. Lehkonen is able to get to it, and he is able to get it across Natchez, back across to Makar, and he tries to feather something through. It was blocked by one of the Los Angeles players. And now Anderson's got it, and he's going to get it back. Really good stuff there from Mikey Anderson. Anderson in his own zone, trying to get a feed in, and he does. Gets it to Jay Kopitar in the offensive zone. Nice pass to, I think that's Kempe, who loops it back around the boards. Panarin's trying to fight for it, cannot get to it, and the Avs do clear. They have it past the neutral zone, dump it in. LA's got the puck back in the defensive zone. Colorado's going to poke it away, and it goes back into the defensive zone for Colorado, where Colorado's going to be able to pass it along, and I think that might have been tipped. Los Angeles gets the puck back. Clark behind his own net, trying to set something up. Gets a pass across, hits a couple of sticks, and goes right into the corner of the Avalanche zone. Avalanche do get it, flip back into the neutral zone, and the Avalanche are content to just play this sort of low event style of hockey, up 2-1 right now. 18 and a half left in the third period. Los Angeles is able to get deep. Burns tries to turn around, and he does. The Kings have scored in both of the previous third periods. We'll see if they're able to keep that going. LA does try a stretch feed. It is not able to go. It goes right to Wedgwood, who, with Armia charging the net, covers up. 18-10 left in the third period in a 2-1 goal lead for the Colorado Avalanche. So very interesting to note there. Once again, Kings are trying to get this series back to 2-1. Avalanche are trying to keep this series close and eventually, potentially, on Sunday, have the chance to sweep. So we should wait and see on that. Once again, there's some movement from the fans behind the Kings net bench. So we shall keep an eye on that. Avalanche win the puck, get into the offensive zone, and that is Landeskog going to chase after it. The Avalanche are able to keep it, tries to pass in front, intercepted by LA, who's going to be able to get out of the defensive zone. Panarin gets it across into the offensive zone, and that was offside for Clark. And that is going to be, I think, a neutral zone faceoff draw just outside the Avalanche line with 17:52 left in the third period. So great stuff there for Colorado to keep LA offside. So that was a really good play there from the Avalanche's defense. Once again, we shall wait and see what happens here. Once again, just it's going to be a neutral zone face-off draw. So LA and Colorado in the face-off dot. Hellenius against that's Drury, and Drury is able to win it into the defensive zone for one of his defenders. Colorado is able to get it, and they send it into the defensive zone. Hellenius gets it to Dumoulin. Dumoulin along the boards trying to clear it out of the zone, and he does. And it's back into the Colorado zone. Byfield trying to get the puck back, but Colorado is able to keep it. Gets it up to O'Connor. O'Connor looking for a passing lane. Fans on the shot, and I think that was Kelly who tried to get it, but he could not get his stick on the puck. And now the puck goes back into the neutral zone for the Avalanche. Makar sends it down, and Makar and LA is able to get it. Malott sends it across, gets it back, and now McKinnon enters the offensive zone, turns it over. Los Angeles gets the puck back as they try and reset to try and get something going here. Dumoulin tipped in front by one of the LA Kings players. Kuzmenko tries to chase after it, does get it away from Burns. They're fighting for it along the wall, and Los Angeles is able to keep it for a second. Colorado now gets it. Nate just has the puck, racing in 2-on-2 with one of the Los Angeles players. And Nate just gets it to the point, shot, and that puck goes wide. Now along the boards, some of the Kings and Avalanche players are fighting for it, and the Kings, I think, have it along the closest to their viewing screen boards, and they do. Long gets it, flips it into the offensive zone, and Wedgwood stops it, gets it to Taves, and Taves behind his net trying to get something going. Taves gets it across to Nathan McKinnon. McKinnon loops it up. Nelson's up there, passes it. Shot stopped by Forsberg with 16:20 left in the third period and a 2-1 lead for the Colorado Avalanche. So really good stuff there for the Avalanche. Nice shot on Forsberg, but it was stopped by Anton Forsberg. Another nice stop there from him. So a huge stop there to keep that game a one-goal game. I feel like if the Avalanche score the next goal, this game's over, and I don't think the Kings are coming back in this game. Once again, the Kings and Avalanche are fighting for the puck in the offensive zone. Face-off dots here between Byfield and I think that's Nelson. And Byfield wins it. Huge win there from Byfield. They cannot clear the puck, though, out of the defensive zone. Now they get... it's taken away by Ross Colton. Shot goes wide. Nichushkin is able to keep the zone. And he passes it back to Makar, racing in, trying to get some sort of shot away. Too many bodies in front, can't get that shot away. LA is able to get it, though, LaFerriere, and there's a penalty or a stoppage in play. Yeah, a penalty on, I think, Los Angeles. I think the Kings are about to go to the box here. It seems like I don't know exactly who it is. Just give me a second here, guys. Let's see. They're just showing you some of the highlights. Makar was going in, and it might be a tripping call on Byfield here as he tripped up Makar, who's trying to go to the net. So it might be Byfield, but either way, the Avalanche are going to the power play. Once again, they're just showing some of the Makar highlights, and he has been moving tonight. Makar has been looking really good along the blue line. So good stuff there from Makar. Looks like he's just drawn a penalty, and the Avalanche are going to have a really good opportunity here to potentially make it 3-1. Over the Los Angeles Kings, it is a power play for Colorado. They got all of their top guys out there: McKinnon, Landeskog, Makar, Kadri, and Natchez. So they got their top unit out there right now. And they do win the draw, and they get back to the point. Nice play, back to Kadri at the point, hits it across in the front to Landeskog's shot, trying to get Palkin, and it goes wide and down the ice as the Avalanche have to regroup with a minute and 48 seconds left in the Colorado Avalanche power play. Trying to get something set up in the neutral zone, passes it back to Nathan McKinnon, and McKinnon is using his jets and racing up into the offensive zone. Passes it across, I think that's Natchez or Landeskog. Landeskog trying to fight for it, so is McKinnon. And the puck is going to be kept in by Makar. Hit it across to Kadri. Kadri back to the point, back to Kadri, back to gets it down below to McKinnon. Does a little bit of a spin move, gets it back to Kadri, who's going to keep the line to Makar. Nice tip to Natchez. Natchez shots, and it goes wide. And now here's McKinnon. McKinnon looking for some sort of a passing lane, cannot. And Kopitar is able to keep it, but the puck goes back to the point. Makar across to Kadri. A pass, shot. Too many bodies in front. LA's able to block it, and they clear the zone with 54 seconds left in the Colorado power play in the LA penalty, as Wedgwood is going to leave it for Devon Toews as the Avalanche start to make some changes here. Malinsky's got it. Back across to Nelson, I think that is, who loses the puck, and the Avalanche are able to regain possession in the neutral zone, but they have to regroup with 30 seconds left on the Avalanche power play. Here comes Los Angeles. Doughty's got it. Doughty loops around the boards, but the Avalanche keep it in, and now it is, I think that was Nelson who kept it in. Nichushkin below the goal line, fighting for it with one of the Los Angeles Kings players. I think it was Mikey Anderson who gets it up to one of the forwards. They clear the zone with 12 seconds left in the power play, and still a 2-1 Avalanche lead. 8 seconds left in the power play. Maybe one more rush here for Colorado. Malinsky gets it across into the offensive zone. Nelson holds it, sends it in, and that's going to do it for the power play as the Avalanche do not capitalize. The Kings now have it, trying to get something going here. Might be a little bit of an all-man rush, and the pass is a little bit too far for one of the Avalanche players. And here comes Colorado looping back. Here's Malinsky, who gets it across to his D partner in Toews, who gets it up, and O'Connor's going after it. And the puck is looped back around. LA does get the puck out of the zone, and Colorado's going to go back into the defensive zone. Burns has it, and it looks like there's a stoppage in play. After this, there's another penalty being called. I don't know if this is on Colorado or if this is Los Angeles. I think it might actually be Kulak getting the penalty here. Hold on, let me see what this penalty is, but the Kings might be getting a power play at a huge point in the game. Let's see, it looks like, Kulak might have been holding Kopitar. Kopitar completely did fall out on the ice, and it looks like Kulak might be going to the box here for the Colorado Avalanche. There's a break in game action as we go to commercial break, so you're not missing anything, but it does look like the Colorado Avalanche are going to be going to the penalty box, and the Los Angeles Kings are going to the power play. A huge opportunity here for Los Angeles to potentially try and tie this game up at 2 apiece. They need to have a couple of goals in the third period, or they are not going to be a very good chance to win this series. If LA wants any chance in this series, they're going to have to find a way to win this game tonight. So once again, we shall wait and see. It's been very close in all 3 of the games so far. Like the first half of the first game was scoreless until the Avs scored a couple of goals in the late stages of the second period. And then in the third period, LA with a goalie pulled will make it a 2-1 game, but it was just too little too late. And last game, LA actually opened the scoring in the late stages of the third period, which I think was also Artemi Panarin. And then the Avalanche would tie it just a couple minutes later. And in overtime, Colorado would win it because of Nick Waugh. So most games have been really closely contested. And then the Avalanche opened the scoring tonight in the first period. First time that's happened this series. LA tied in the second. Makar gave the Avalanche lead in the third. And now they have a 2-1 lead. But definitely, this game has been tight. This game has been really close. Both teams have a shot here. And once again, I do expect this to be a really hard push here for the Kings in the last, 12, 13 minutes of the game. But it does look like they're about to go on the power play. So that could be a really big boost there for the Los Angeles Kings. So once again, we shall wait and see what happens there. Once again, you're not missing anything. We are just coming back from commercial break. It is 2-1 Avalanche in the third period. Just throwing some of the stats from today's game at this point in time, like Makar, and with all how good he's been so far today. Once again, just showing some of those stats. They're just finishing up the TV timeout here, and they should be going. It is Kula going to the box. So the Kings are about to have a power play here. I think they're 0 for 3 on the power play so far, 0 for 4. So they have not been great on the power play. So they're definitely going to be looking to try and get some sort of a power play goal here to make this thing interesting and tie this game up here. There are 13 and a half minutes left in the third period in a 2-1 lead for the Colorado Avalanche. So Los Angeles, once again, the faceoff dot. Kopitar is not able to win it. Colorado gets it, clears it down the ice. A horrible start for Los Angeles' power play. Forsberg's able to get it, gives it to Kempe, and tries to set up something. Kempe moving up the wing, passes it back to a streaking. I think that's Brent Clark. Once again, actually, no, so Alex Laferriere. Byfield's got it. Once again, the Avs trying to clear. They cannot. And it's kept in. Panarin has it. Far side. Looking for a pass. And he cannot. Byfield's now got it. Byfield passes it back to Kopitar. A couple of guys fighting for it in the corner. And Kempe does hold the line. Shoots. And it's tipped wide. Kings trying to keep possession of the puck. And Burns is able to kick it to Taves. And he clears it down the ice. Huge kill there for the Avs. 1:10 left on the power play for Los Angeles. And now Los Angeles does get back. Panarin dumps it in the offensive zone. And the Kings are able to hold on to it. Passes it back. Gets it across to Panarin. Panarin across. Shot by Kempe. And stopped. And this might be a little bit of a break here for the Avalanche shorthanded. And here they come. O'Connor's driving the net. Shoots. And scores! Logan O'Connor! Shorthanded goal. Tipped in front. I think the pass was from Lehkonen. And the Avalanche are up 3-1. A disastrous power play from Los Angeles. And the Avalanche now have a 2-goal lead. Lehkonen drove it and put it on goal. O'Connor got the tip in front. And the Avalanche have now taken a 3-1 lead. A terrible play from Adrian Kempe, who fanned on the shot at the point. And Lehkonen just took it. Pass, nice shot from O'Connor, and with the way this game's going, this might be game unless the no, it's not going to be O'Connor's goal. It went off of Kempe's skate. Kempe found the shot leading to a 2-on-1, and then his skate gets in the way, puts a 5-hole pass Forsberg. That's going to be Lehkonen's goal, and that's going to be an Avalanche having a 3-1 lead. A terrible play from Kempe on the power play, and the shorthanded goal from Arturi Lehkonen gives the Avalanche a 3-1 advantage. Huge for the Colorado Avalanche. Let's change that here as the LA Kings try and regroup on the power play. Let's see if they're able to get something here with 38 seconds left on the power play. The Avalanche do have it. The Kings do have it. Let's see. Trying to get something, and it's stopped by Wedgwood. Once again, it's now 3-1 Avalanche, and there's some more rough stuff going on in front of the Avalanche net with just a little bit left. So very interesting note there, but the Avalanche now have a 3-1 lead. There's 29 seconds left on the power play for Los Angeles, 11:59 left in the third period for Los Angeles, and the Avalanche had just gotten themselves an insurance marker. Just a terrible play all around from Kempe. He found the shot, led to the 2-on-1. He was the lone player back, and it just goes off of his skate and past Anton Forsberg. Just an all-around awful play from Kempe. A bad bounce past Forsberg, and a shorthanded goal for Arturi Lehkonen. Really good stuff there from the Avs as they are able to make it a 3-1 lead over the Kings. So we shall wait and see if the Kings are able to make this a game again, or if this is maybe the dagger that gives the Avalanche a 3-0 series lead. So we shall wait and see. They're once again just showing Kempe on the bench. Once again, their second power play unit out there. You've got Lawton, Clark, Doughty, Kuzmenko, and more out there right now for the LA Kings to take this offensive, zone face-off draw. So very interesting to note that they're just showing Kempe and Lehkonen on the bench. Really interesting to note there, but a shorthanded goal from Avalanche have given them a 3-1 advantage. So couldn't have come at a bigger time for Colorado. They needed that one desperately. Once again, they're just about to drop the puck. They're just talking to some of the coaches here, and they do drop the puck. Colorado gets it, chips it around the zone, and it clears. Once again for the Colorado Avalanche. LA behind their own net trying to set something up. Drew Doughty's got it. Doughty tries to feed it back, and he does. Gets it across to Clark, who dumps it down the zone. They got Panarin out there too with Lawton and Kuzmenko, Clark and Doughty. And the Avalanche trying to get it back out of the zone, and they do with 2-1, 0 seconds left on the penalty. Doughty's got it in his own zone, and the penalty works in the opposite direction for the Los Angeles Kings. Here's Doughty. He's got it. Passes it back. Nice play from Doughty. And now Malot's got it. Malott trying to get something going here. I think that's right. Oh, one of the Avalanche players took out a couple of people. But once again, the Avalanche are able to get possession. Kings do keep it in, though. Malott trying to get a pass to Hellenius, could not connect. Fighting for it along the boards is, I think, right. The Avalanche do clear it, and the Kings trying to find some way to get something in here. And I think that was an offside call or an icing or something like that. And with 10:51 left in the third period, a 3-1 lead for the Colorado Avalanche, trying to go up 3-0 in this series. So looking good right now for the Avalanche to potentially have an opportunity to sweep the series on Sunday. So that's very interesting to know there. Once again, just a very interesting game. They're just showing you the start times for the next couple of games in this next couple of days. Once again, tomorrow, 5 p.m. Mountain Time, Tampa plays Montreal. 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time, Utah plays Vegas. 8 p.m. Mountain Time, Edmonton plays Anaheim, a game in which I am streaming. So I do hope you guys all tune in. And then, of course, 1 p.m. Mountain Time on Sunday will be the chance for, or Saturday will be a chance for the Carolina Hurricanes to sweep the Ottawa Senators. LA wins the zone. LA wins the face-off, and the puck goes back into their zone, but it gets chipped into the LA Kings bench, and we're going to get another face-off just outside the LA Kings line. So very interesting to note there. Once again, just really interesting. Yeah, they are looking at some sort of highlights from over the past little bit about McKinnon tripping a ref, and I think Brent Burns too. So very interesting. He just slid in there and took out a couple of their feet. So once again, they're just showing some highlights here in the stoppage. Face-off in the center ice, and the Avalanche do win it. It goes back in their zone. Avalanche are content to hold on to this lead now at 3-1, and the Kings need to start pushing for some offense. Just over 10 minutes left in the third period. The Kings have it in their defensive zone. Doughty gets it around, passes it, and the Avalanche do keep in the offensive zone. Nice play from, I think that's Nick Waugh, to keep the line, trying to get it back to Kadri, and he can't. Landeskog's down there trying to fight for it, and he is able to keep it. Landeskog gets it, but now it's intercepted in Byfield, trying to do something here. Fan on the pass, and the Avalanche regain the possession. Avalanche get it, dump it down the ice as they go off for a line change. Forsberg's got it with 9:59 left in the third period and a 3-1 Avalanche lead. The Avalanche trying to get something going here, and they do. I think that's Nathan McKinnon. Shoots, stopped, and Forsberg is able to hold on with 9:48 left on a streaking Nathan McKinnon or a streaking Logan O'Connor who tried to put that puck in. But we are now under halfway through the third period, and the LA Kings are currently down 3-1. We're going to commercial break. 9:48 left in the third period, and an Avalanche lead was looking like it's going to be an Avalanche win at this point in time, unless the Kings are able to get a couple of goals, which all series long they have not been able to get offense past Scott Wedgwood. It's looking like it's going to be a Colorado win. So, very interesting to note there. I'd love to hear all of your guys' thoughts if you guys are still here. What has been the most entertaining series so far? Has it been Anaheim, Edmonton, Vegas, Utah? This series here between the Avs and the Kings? Was it the Sabres-Sens series? Has it been the Bolts-Habs series? Has it been the Canes-Sens series? Has it been the Flyers Penguin series? Has it been the Stars Wild series? Like, there have been some very interesting series. Once again, yeah, Battle of Pennsylvania, I think, has been one of the most craziest ones. I personally was not expecting the Philadelphia Flyers to do that good. I had Penguins in 5, so one of my predictions is completely off. Like, I think the Metro side is going to be the worst part of my original bracket, because I can still see Tampa win over Montreal. I can still see Buffalo beat Boston, which they're currently up right now. I can still see Minnesota beat Dallas because those games have been close. I still think Colorado's going to beat LA. I still could see Anaheim I still could see Utah beat Vegas, and I could still see them to beat Anaheim. But like the Ottawa, Pittsburgh, which I had going to round 2, are both down 3-0 in those series. So right now, that Metro bracket is the bracket that I really don't think I'm going to do very good on when all said and done in round 1. So once again, yeah, I know a lot of Flyer fans are probably happy. I think they were just happy to be there in the playoffs after what was a very up and down season. But I'm sure a lot of Flyers fans are extremely excited to potentially go on to round 2. Like, the only 2 teams in the Metro Division who have not made the second round the last 5 to 6 years are going to be the Penguins if they do end up losing the series, which at this point I'm highly expecting them to, and the Blue Jackets. Besides that, the Islanders have won in the second round over the past while, so have the Devils, so the Rangers, so the Canes are about to do it again, the Islanders, all three New York teams have, the Canes have, the Capitals have, and it looks like the Flyers are just about to. So it looks like the Jackets and the Penguins are going to be the only two teams in that Metro Division who have not been able to win a series over the past 5 to 6 years. Avalanche win the offensive zone face-off draw, shot in front, and Forsberg sprawling. He does keep it out for the time being. LA gets it, nice pass, and the Kings are able to just chip it in. They're going to have to try and push for some offense here, and Wright's got it, and they loop it back around to the points, but it's too far for Dumoulin, and he can't keep the zone, and goes all the way back down to their defensive zone. Cece's got it to Dumoulin. There's 9.5 minutes left in this game, and the Avalanche are currently leading 3-1. The Los Angeles Kings dump it in, and Armia goes for it, and he is able to get it for a second. Fighting with Kulak, Burns is in there, McKinnon's in there, another King is in there, and they're all trying to fight for that puck, and the Kings cannot hold the line. And here comes Marinachis with some speed one-on-one, and the Kings do get some reinforcements, but pass across to McKinnon, pass across, and it is put wide, and the puck goes back to a Los Angeles player who dumps it down the ice. It's going to be an icing call in Los Angeles, but that was very close to making it 4-1 Colorado. So very interesting note there. Once again, really entertaining game so far, but the Avalanche have been able to keep this. That was so close. McKinnon tried to get it to, I think it was Arturi Lehkonen, who put it just ever so slightly wide of Anton Forsberg and the net. So that was very close to being 4-1. Kings catch a break there, but they've only got 8 minutes and 50 seconds left to score 2 goals to send the thing to overtime. So Kings have their work cut out for them. Offensive zone face-off draw here for Colorado, and it is won by Colorado. Colorado gets it back to the point. Trying to do something, pass back to below the goal line. LA does intercept. Dumoulin gets it across the other side, and that's where Edmondson's going to get it back to Dumoulin. Dumoulin trying to find some sort of a passing lane, and he's just going to wait behind his net, trying to get some things set up with 8.5 left in the third period. So once again, they got to try and get something going. That is Waugh who's shadowing Dumoulin, and Dumoulin gets it to Kempe with a nice pass, and it's going to deflect. And yeah, very interesting to note there. It's in the defensive zone for the Avs, trying to get it, and they do. Here's Cale Makar. Makar racing up, looking for it, and the Kings are able to get it back in the defensive zone, trying to set something up with under 8 minutes to go in the third period, and they can't get it into the offensive zone back just below their blue line as they make some line changes. Clark hands it off to Drew Doughty, and Doughty trying to make something happen here. Doughty, nice stretch feed, sends it into LaFerriere, who dumps it down, and once again, the Kings are able to keep it in the offensive zone more, trying to get a nice shot, but Wedgwood was right there. It was a sharp angle shot, and he was able to stand tall. 7.5 left in the third. Nice pass at the point. Tries to get in front, shoots, and they can't get the shot away. And the puck hit off of a Kings player and one of the Colorado Avalanche players, that's O'Connor, trying to find some sort of a lane here. Pass it in front, shot, stopped by Forsberg. Huge stop. 7 minutes left in the third period. 7:10 left in the third as the puck goes back into the Kings zone, trying to regroup. The Kings trying to keep it away from the Avalanche players, and they are able to keep it. Here comes Los Angeles around the boards. This might be an icing call on Colorado on Los Angeles. It's not. Wedgwood plays it to Burns, who gets it around. LA keeps in the offensive zone. Burns gets it back. Nice chip off the boards, and it does get out of the zone this time. 6:45 left in the third. So very interesting to note there. So very interesting. Los Angeles, nice stretch feed, trying to get in the offensive zone. They do, and Malinsky is going to be able to get it. Oh, and it's loose in front, and the Kings cannot get their puck on their sticks on any loose pucks in front of the Avalanche net. It's back in the Kings zone as Clark tries to set something up. Edmondson's got it. He tries to stretch it, and it's blocked. Stays in the Kings zone, and it's intercepted. Here comes Natchez, back to the point, across, trying to get some sort of a pass in front. Cannot. Kings chip it out with 6 minutes left, and their hopes for winning this game are dwindling. Here comes the Avalanche again. Nathan MacKinnon across the Lehkonen, shoots, stopped by Forsberg. Doughty gets the puck back under 6 minutes to go in the third period. Los Angeles down 3-1. It was been a very entertaining game and a solid game there from Colorado. Another stick check, and the puck goes back into the Los Angeles zone. Here's Malott. Gets it to Doughty, gets it back to Malott. He can't get past their own blue line, has to pass it back into his own zone. Doughty behind his own net, trying to reset something with 5.5 left to go in the third period. Avalanche do get the puck, but they have to reset because of the offside, and they do wind up sending it back to the blue line. Trying to fight for it at the blue line. It's dumped back into the Los Angeles zone where Dumoulin is there to get it, chips it back to one of the Kings forwards, and now they finally are able to break out somewhat. Kempe dangling here, does dump it in. Once again, it looked like he was stayed on side. Los Angeles trying to get something going here with 5 minutes left. Edmondson, once again to the point, and the Avalanche are able to intercept it. And Avalanche are able to get in the neutral zone, dump it into the LA Kings zone where the LA Kings recover, and they have to loop back around under 5 minutes to go in the third period. The Kings and there's a tripping penalty maybe here on the Avalanche. Once again, the Kings are looping back. There is a tripping penalty on Colorado. There's 4.5 minutes left in the third period, and the Kings are able to go back on the power play where they have not been good all day. Once again, Forsberg is off for the extra attacker. Nice pass. Panarin's got it across, and they pass it back to the point. Clark gets it to Panarin. Point, Doughty tries to get something going, cannot. Now back to the point, Panarin shot. Blocked, hit off an Avalanche player. They're able to keep it, but the puck goes out of the zone, and they actually say that the Avalanche touch it. So 4:19 left in the third period, and the Kings are going to be going to the power play. So very interesting note there. It's been very entertaining, but I think we're about to go to commercial break, and when we come back, Drury just ever so slightly got a stick tied up in Byfield's skates, and Drury's going to be going to the penalty box. So very interesting to note there. So I do hope that I'm able to help you guys listen to some of the games if you guys can't afford anything. So I do hope that works out. Once again, I am going to be streaming tomorrow's game between the Ducks and the Oilers. So I hope you guys all tune in for that. I think it's going to be a lot more of an exciting game and a high-scoring affair than this Avalanche Kings game's been. I think it'll probably be the best stream we've done. So we started off on Tuesday with my first play-by-play when the Flyers show Penguins, and then back over on, that was on Monday, and then on Tuesday we saw the Utah Mammoths win 3-2 over Vegas. Those were the first two games I streamed, and this is the third. So once again, tomorrow I think will be the most entertaining of the 4 games we have streamed this week, as I do think that the Ducks and Oilers will be a high event, highly entertaining game. There'll be chances back and forth. I think this will be a very interesting game. So once again, if you can, and it's within your means, and you guys have the time to, check in on, once again, tomorrow at 8 p.m. Mountain Time, as we will be having a Ducks-Oilers live stream. So I do hope you guys tune in for that. Once again, you're not missing anything. It is commercial break. There's under 5 minutes to go in the third period, and the Kings are down 2 goals and down 2 games in this series at risk of going down 3-0. So not great news there. And once again, once we get back, we'll have the conclusion of this game if it does not go to overtime. So once again, maybe there's a miracle for Los Angeles, and with this power play, they're going to get a couple of goals. But barring a miracle, this is going to probably be a Colorado Avalanche win. So we shall wait and see on that. Once again, you're not missing anything. We are on commercial break. And I do appreciate you guys for all of the chats you've provided, for all the comments, the subscriptions. I really do appreciate it. We're trying to hit 750 subscribers in the next couple of weeks, potentially by the second round. So if you can, leave a subscribe. It really does help with the channel. And don't forget to stay tuned for my live stream tomorrow at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. And I should also have another live streams next week. But once again, I'll have to play it by ear. I'll have a schedule coming out Sunday or Monday. So don't forget to stay tuned for that. But definitely, they're just sort of trying to set something up here on the power play. Kings about to go on the power play here with about 2 minutes left in the game. So with about 4 minutes left in the game, they're going to get a 2-minute power play. It looks like Forsberg might go to the bench to try and make it a 6-on-4 attack for Los Angeles if they can get possession of this puck. Offensive face-off draw, they do win it. Clark has it. Back to Panarin. Panarin trying to find some sort of feed. It's a 6-on-4, net empty for the LA Kings. Panarin's got it. Back to, I think that's LaFerriere. Back to Panarin. Shoots, scores! The Kings tip it in front. I think that's going to count. And the Kings really quickly on the power play to tie this game up, have made a 1-goal game. We're not done yet. I don't know if that was tipped in front, and it looks like it's going to be Adrian Kempe's goal for the time being. 3-2, Colorado with 4 minutes left, and 6-on-4 on the power play with the goalie pulled. The Kings do get a big one. They pass out to Panarin, who shot that puck. And let's see here. Panarin shot it, and it was fed in front by Kempe. It looks like. Let's see here. Panarin shot it. Oh, yeah, that one was going wide. Nice tip from Kempe. A huge one. He sort of redeems himself for that 1 goal he gave up earlier that made it 3-1. And a huge goal there from Kempe. This is a 3-2 game with 4 minutes left. So let's change this up here. And this game might not be over yet. Let's see if the Kings have something left up in their sleeves. Now it's a 3-2 game. So let's see. Let's make that happen. And then once again, puck goes deep into the Kings zone. Kings have to loop back around. There's 3:50 left in regulation time in the third period. Once again, Doughty trying to find some sort of lane here into the offensive zone, and he does. Doughty shoots it, and it's wide over the net. Kings do keep the line. Lawton hit Byfield, and the puck is able to get cleared by Colorado. Back into the defensive zone for Los Angeles with 3.5 minutes left in the third period. Los Angeles trying to get something going here. Nice power play goal from Kempe. They're fighting for it along the boards. LA does get it, but they have to go back into their defensive zone as they're making some line changes. Dumoulin gets it to the red line, dumps it in. Nice try from them. Colorado gets it back, loops it back around. There's 3 minutes left. Avalanche are now streaking up the offensive zone, and Waugh dumps it in. Landeskog chips it ahead. Nice play. Pass in front. A nice try for a tip from Waugh. This might be a 3-on-2 here for the Kings. Here comes Scott Lawton, and he's going to be poke-checked off the puck. Bad stuff there from Los Angeles. They can't keep it in. They do keep it in for the time being, and a shot goes wide. Colorado's able to get it on the boards. LA does intercept it. Clark trying to find something in front. He cannot. LA does keep it in. Kopitar's got it. Back to Clark. Tries to tip it in. And now it is Edmondson. And Landeskog's got it. They're fighting for it in the corner. And LA's able to keep the zone. Tries to feed it around the net, and he does. 2.5 minutes left in the third period, and the Kings have to go back as the puck comes out of the blue line. Let's see, Los Angeles. Kopitar tries to get something, and Avalanche got an empty net score, and that probably is the game. Just after Forsberg left the ice to go get the extra skater, Nelson picked off a pass, had a wide open net. They were just going off for the extra attacker, and the Avalanche once again lead 4-2. Not a bad play there from Los Angeles trying to get the extra skater on, but it was just a terrible timing as Nelson is able to strip them of the puck and take it in. As you can see, Forsberg went right off, and just as he went off, Nelson is able to get it into the empty net. Not just a tough break there for Los Angeles. This has not been their night. Finally get over 2 goals in the game, and they wind up probably losing 4 or 5-2. So very interesting out there. Good stuff from Nelson, who I think that's his first goal of the series. I think. Landeskog and Waugh scored in the first game, in the second game, and it was Drury and McKay. I think that's Nelson. Yeah, it's Nelson's first of the game of the series into the empty net. That will make it 4-2. There's just over 2 minutes left in this game, and the Avalanche might have just iced it. Once again, puck goes into the LA Kings zone, trying to loop back around is Dumoulin. He is behind his own net. Once again, let's just change this here to 4-2. Kings trying to enter the offensive zone, and they do. They dump it in. Once again, Forsberg back to the bench, trying to get to the bench, maybe gets to the bench, sort of second questioning himself, and he does. And now it's 6-on-5 for the Kings, trying to get something going with 1.5 minutes left in the third period. Panarin's got it, and the puck just trickles ever so slightly out of the zone. Kings regroup in their defensive zone with 1.5 minutes left, down by 2 goals. Not great stuff there from Colorado. Once again, Kings enter the offensive zone. Panarin dumps it down. Kopitar trying to keep it, and he can. Kempe does dump it back around the net. Burns has it, and he's hit off the puck. Laferriere trying to get it in front, and he does, and it's a nice save by Wedgwood. Laferriere gets it back to the point, and the Avalanche trying to get there, and let's see, and they're not able to hold it in. Now they do. Sent down the ice, and it's just going to be wide. It's going to be an icing call with 58 seconds left in the third period, and the Kings having an empty net. The Avalanche up 4-2 in this game. So if you guys are just tuning in, this was a 2-1 game entering the third period for the Avalanche. They scored a shorthanded goal. Lehkonen put it off of Kempe skating in to make it a 3-1 game for the Avalanche. Then on the power play with about 4 minutes left and the goalie pulled, the Kings were able to get back to a 3-2 game thanks to a goal from Adrian Kempe. But just a few seconds after they pulled the goalie again to try and make it a 3-3 game, the Avalanche were able to hold on, get an empty netter. The puck goes back down the ice. This is going to be another icing call for the Avalanche with 50 seconds left after they won the zone. So this is very much looking like the Avalanche are going to win this game and go up 3-0, and will have the opportunity to sweep the LA Kings on Sunday. So Sunday, the Avalanche will have the shot to go advance to round 2 as the President's Trophy champs. So once again, with how well and how tight that Dallas-Minnesota series is, if they do wind up sweeping the Kings, they're going to have a lot of rest entering the second round. So once again, that could sometimes be good for teams. That sometimes is bad. LA does win the zone. Does keep it in for the time being. Colorado gets it. Trying to get into the offensive zone, they do. And Landeskog looking. It hits off of a skate. It's off of a stick of an LA King player and out as he tried to hit the empty net. And it's going to be an offensive zone face-off draw for Colorado with 31 seconds left in the third. So once again, it's been a really interesting game, but the Avalanche are well on their way to winning this game. Forsberg has to go back into his crease as once again this face-off is going to come right to the edge, right to beside him. So once again, the Avalanche are going to have an offensive zone face-off draw here. So very interesting note there. Once again, this has been a very entertaining game. Avalanche are up 4-2. I do appreciate all of you guys for tuning in, for leaving your chats, your comments, subscribing. I do appreciate all of that. Once again, we will be streaming again tomorrow for the Ducks-Oilers game, so I hope you guys all tune in. I think that one will be a little bit more entertaining than this game has. Let's see. Dumoulin's got it to Doughty. Doughty stretches it with 20 seconds left. They're able to enter the offensive zone. Malott into the corner with 15 seconds left in the third period, and they're just going to fight for it in the corner. Trying to get something in there. 9 seconds left. 8. They're just fighting for it in the corner. Los Angeles trying to get something out here. Malott is able to get a shot away, but stopped. It trickles down the ice, and the Avalanche hold on. The Avalanche are going to win this game 4-2, and the Avalanche are up 3-0 in this series. A chance now to sweep on Sunday and advance to round 2 for the first time in a couple of years. So really good stuff there. Good stuff. Once again, teams are 209-4 when going up 3-0. There are 3 series this year which are 3-0, which includes the Avalanche, the Kings, and the Flyers. So we'll also see if there's any sweeps or if the series wind up going longer, but they're just showing the West bracket here. Avalanche up 3-0. Stars up 2-1. And the 2 Pacific series is at 1 apiece, both playing tomorrow. And once again, we're going to be streaming Anaheim versus Edmonton. So once again, I do appreciate you guys all for tuning in. Let's change this here. Once again, it was a very interesting game here between the Avalanche and the Kings, but the Avalanche do wind up taking this one in regulation 4-2. So once again, a really close game. Kings finally are able to get over 2 goals, get over a goal, which was great, but the Avalanche do wind up holding on and winning. So very interesting note there. It was a little more high event than I thought, with a couple more goals, but it was a little bit more dump and chase. I expect tomorrow's game between the Ducks and the Oilers to be a lot more high event. So once again, I do appreciate you guys for tuning in to this live stream. Stay tuned. We will have a couple of videos coming out tomorrow. We should have another live stream tomorrow at 8 p.m. Mountain Time between the Ducks and the Oilers. I do expect it to be a very entertaining game, so I hope you guys tune in. I also do plan on doing a couple more live streams next week. We'll have a couple more videos coming out on Saturday as well as next week as well, so I hope you guys tune in for those ones. And definitely, if you guys haven't already, subscribe, leave a comment, leave a like, tell all your friends the best hockey content on YouTube is right here at the End to End Hockey channel. So I do appreciate that. Thank you for tuning in, everyone, and I hope to see you guys all for tomorrow's games, and I hope to see you guys all for future videos. Thank you all. I do appreciate it. I'll see you all in the next one. God bless you all, and I'll see you all in the next one.